Seminole Indian is at midfield and has spiked his lance that is burning as the Florida State people release the balloons that float high in the air. And they're thinking major bowl, and they're thinking second straight upset in as many weeks. The toss of the coin has already taken place, and to the delight of the capacity crowd here, Florida State has won and will receive. The temperature at midday in the middle 80s, and moments ago, as we told you, the Florida State toss of the coin was won by the Seminoles, and that'll give us a chance to take a look at the referee and his staff. The referee is Paul Schmidt out of Louisville, Kentucky. The linesman, Jim Mahan out of Cincinnati. The field judge, Bill Lang of Park Ridge, Kentucky. The umpire, Donald McDonald of Baltimore, Maryland. The line judge, Thomas Adams of Florence, South Carolina, and the back judge, Dennis Phillips of Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. And now you can see Paul Schmidt saying, "It belongs to you, Florida State." And coming out to kick off will be Dave Trout for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 4-0-0. They defeated Boston College in a tough opener. They took Kansas 18-3. And Jackie Sherrill told Bud Wilkinson that they had some injury problems in the early going. Then they got rolling against Temple 36-2, beating Maryland 38-9. For Florida State, they're 4-1-0, losing only to Miami 10-9 when they elected to go for the two-point conversion in the fourth quarter. It was not good. But they bounced LSU 16-0 in the first game. Louisville 52-0 in the second. Trounced East Carolina 63-7. But everybody is talking about last week's win over Nebraska 18-14 after they trailed 14-3 at the end of the first half. And now Trout to kick it off. And this game, long awaited in the Southland, is underway. Whoops. Getting out to give them first and 10 is Larry Harris, a reserve fullback, number 30. And so now we will have, as we told you, Stockstill, numbering 11, the quarterback. Sam Platt, 29, the tailback. Mike Whiting, 27, the fullback. Your wide receivers, and they vary them. Hardis Johnson, 22. And Phil Williams, 87, and the speedster Dennis McKinnon, 6. Zeke Moad is the tight end. The ball is at the 12-yard line. First down. And Stockstill comes out throwing, and there's Hugh Green.
We talked about him before the game, Jim. He really was not lined up as a defensive end before the play started. He sensed what was going to happen, moved up on his defensive end position, came in untouched, and of course Stockstill had absolutely no chance.
A loss on the play of 10 yards. It is second down and 20. Greg Meisner, Jerry Boyarsky, Bill Neal, and Ricky Jackson round out that front five with them. Sunseri and Fidel, the linebackers, and we've got some reserves in the defensive backfield. We'll give you those in a moment. Now let's see Stockstill. Stockstill will throw from the end zone. Instead, he gives to his fullback, who is Mike Whiting, who picks up a yard or so, and it is third and long. Now, Terry White, the left cornerback, is out with a knee. So Pappy Thomas, number 9, is starting at the left corner. And their strong safety starter, Carlton Williamson, is out with a foot injury. And so Dan Short moves up to the strong safety spot. For Cano, a reserve quarterback, and Lynn Thomas, your other men in the secondary. Phil Williams goes wide left. Hardis Johnson to the right, third down, nearly 20 yards to go. That is Platt, the tailback, getting across the 5-yard line to about the 7. And we're going to get an early look at Ron Stark, who will come in to kick it away.
That's the typical Pittsburgh defense. They're fourth in the country in total defense. They're second in defense against the rush. They've given up only 65 yards per game against the running attack. That's an awesome defense led by Hugh Green.
Ron Stark will be in the end zone, number 3, out of 50 Lakes, Minnesota, while Tom Flynn, a freshman, number 5, out of respect to him, is already back in his own territory. The rush is on. Not a great kick, and it takes a Pittsburgh bounce and will be knocked out of bounds. And let's see where the officials mark it.
Had a 10-man rush, Jim. He didn't quite have the time he would like to have had to kick the ball.
Jackie Sherrill, the coach of Pittsburgh, knows that he must put pressure on. And so we now start with excellent field position for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Dan Marino, 13. Rooster Jones, 2. Randy McMillan, 40. The backfield. Willie Collier, number 4. Dwight Collins, number 32. Your wide receivers. Benji Pryor, 84, the tight end. And the tremendous line of Covert and May, Fader and Boss, and Grimm at center. Grimm weighs 270. Getting inside the 40-yard line, down to the 39-yard line. Before the tackle is made there by Ron Hester, number 83, who has to play linebacker this evening since Paul Purowski, the lineman of the week last year for his work over Nebraska, checked into the hospital on Thursday, appendicitis.
And that's a very tough loss for Florida State when you lose your leading tackler, particularly the linebacking position, where you have to cover on passes, also support the runs, be a part of the blitz. You lose a key part of the defense.
Two tight ends. Mike Trombowski replaces Rooster Jones, but Pryor goes wide to the right. Marino goes back to throw. Has the time. Throws deep toward the end zone where it is caught. Touchdown. And that is number 32, Dwight Collins, the freshman flanker, who caught 2 touchdown passes last week against the University of Maryland. And Marino was right on target, a 39-yard touchdown pass. And Bobby Bowden said, you know they're going to hit the big one.
He can't be covered much better than this. And get 2 men on him. Pass appears to be well covered. He goes up in the air between the 2 defenders, and we were told, as Jim has already mentioned, that he did that last week, and it appears that he's got the jumping ability and the timing to get the ball at its highest point. It makes a great receiver.
Dave Trout comes in to kick the extra point, which is good. And very quickly on the second play on offense, Pittsburgh, undefeated, jumps out to a 7-0 lead.
Safety and engineering.
Only 3 minutes and 49 seconds have gone by.
It always bothers you from a coaching standpoint to get one that easy that early. You hope that your team won't let up.
Well, I don't think this crowd, Bud, will allow this team to let up since they're playing at home. Perhaps before the largest crowd ever to watch a Florida State game at home. It is taken by the up man again. That is number 30, Larry Harris, and Harris gets out to the 21-yard line, and for the first time tonight, it's not much. But Rick Stockstill has a little bit better running room. Tackle was made by Mark Woods.
Great speed that time in the kick coverage team of the Pitt Panthers. It was a low line drive kick, no hang time at all, and yet they covered rapidly enough to stop the tackle on the 21.
Bill Williams goes wide to the left. Artis Johnson to the right. Florida State wants to maintain poise. There is Platt, the tailback. And Platt picks up perhaps 4 yards out to the 25-yard line before you can see Fidel there. Steve Fidel, number 58, in on the tackle, along with Ricky Jackson, who is very nearly alongside of Hugh Green in numbers of sacks and tackles, although when you mention the 2 men, they say Jackson is great, but Green, well, Frank Broyles, Fred Akers, people have not even played against him have said he is all-world.
They line up as a defensive end or as a stacked linebacker, and sometimes even as a strong safety.
2 wide receivers to the right side now as Kurt Unglob comes in and is split wide to the right, number 19. And this is their tailback again. That is a helmet that goes high in the air, and let's change that to Mike Whiting, number 27. He lost his helmet. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 to go. Again, Steve Fidel, number 58, the linebacker, in on the play.
Let's take another look at it. Stockstill handing off. Whiting gets a little bit of room, turns upfield, and is really powdered. His helmet popped up in the air like the ball, but the best gain made thus far by the Seminoles.
Williams goes wide to the left. Right ahead goes Whiting, and I believe he is short of the first down, but we allow the officials to mark that. Greg Meisner, number 86, the big left tackle in there. And I think he needs about a half a yard, Bud.
Tight end Mowat lined up on the wrong side that time. As he switched over, you saw Hugh Green go opposite him. He likes to be on the short side where there's always the gap, where he has a better chance to use his great speed and judgment to get penetration and cause the bad play.
It is not a first down, and now let us see how Pittsburgh lines up. With Stark having to punt from his own end zone, they put a 10-man rush on him, and he did not get away a great kick. One of the times last week against Nebraska, against the win, he kicked the ball 59 yards. Tom Flynn is the deep man, Tim Lewis and Lynn Thomas the up men, as Ron, and he spells his name R-O-H-N, Stark, stands at his own 17. 7-0. The Panthers of Pittsburgh lead. Early in the ball game, and that is Flynn at the 24-yard line. Wall forming on the far side. He is almost tripped up, but now goes down at the 27-yard line. And I can see now we're going to have some problems with our clock. It shows 18 minutes to go in the first quarter, and I think everybody listening knows there are only 15 minutes in any quarter.
That's that 18 digit. That got a little bit fouled up.
Now the scoreboard not only shows 18 minutes and 13 seconds to go, but starts to plead for defense as they have Marino and company shoved back inside their 30-yard line. Harris coming off. He returned one kick, remember. Number 30, reserve fullback. A freshman out of Gainesville, and they're working on one of his legs.
Appears we have a penalty, and I didn't see the flag go down.
Well, we'll be told in a moment by Paul Schmidt, the referee, what it is. Obviously against Pittsburgh, and it is going to be a personal foul charged against the Panthers.
And it was after the ball had been whistled dead, so they're facing first down and 25, and that is a tough penalty.
Ball between the 13 and 14 again. Two tight ends in there for the Panthers. This time Marino is back deep in his own territory. A young man with a lot of poise, a sophomore out of Pittsburgh. Grew up in the shadow of the University of Pittsburgh. Marino hands off to his fullback, McMillan, who turns a corner and gets across the 40-yard line and is knocked down there by Arthur Scott, who has been bothered with ankle problems, number 54, but has come back in. There he is in your picture to take over the left end starting position. The biggest loss for Florida State, and things happen so fast, Paul Pirowski, as we said, a lineman of the week, 13 tackles, 12 of those unassisted, and he stripped Jeff Quinn of Nebraska the ball in the last 10 seconds, appendicitis, and he is not in there. Second down and nearly 15 to go, and look out, Florida State jump. Let's see if they say they were pulled.
The offensive formation being used by Pittsburgh with one man remaining in the backfield, two wide receivers and two tight ends, is designed to keep Florida State from rotating their defensive secondary. Bobby Butler is a great corner man. He is so good that they can roll him up almost on the defensive line of scrimmage, and he can still cover one by one. But when you play against that balanced set, you can't rotate the secondary.
Bobby Bowden. They really love him down here. Came down here from West Virginia. Well, Bud, they had first and 25 after the run by McMillan after the penalty. It is now second down and just about 10.
Nothing like a penalty to help you. One good run, too.
Jeff Casper split all the way across. Marino goes back on second down and 10. Has a lot of time and underthrows his target, who was number 82, Dombrowski, the tight end, and the ball hit about 5 yards in front of him, and it's third down and 10 to go.
He was absolutely wide open. The Pittsburgh line did a great job of protecting Marino. They probably have the best pass protecting line in college football. We asked Jackie Sherrill about that today, and he said, well, maybe we've been rushed twice in the last couple of years, but he said, I don't remember any sacks.
Jarvis Coursey comes out of defensive end, and Gary Henry, a fifth back, goes in on third down and 10. That is Dombrowski setting up on the far side. Quick pitch back. McMillan is going to be wrestled down by Arthur Scott. Fine play by Scott, number 54. And now with 9:03 to go in the first quarter, the Panthers leading 7-0 will have to kick it away. In case you joined us late, a 39-yard pass from Marino to freshman Dwight Collins on the second play from scrimmage for Pittsburgh has them in the lead. David Hepler with 10 men for Florida State on the line trying to rush him. Now one drops off.
Butler at the top of the screen.
Rushes on. Gets the ball away. Gary Henry waits for it and has it on a fair catch at the 31-yard line. Well, there have been two big plays, Bud. The defensive play by Hugh Green, the pass from Marino to Dwight Collins. Other than that, it's been pretty even.
Need time.
Time is in. Phil Williams, number 87, comes wide to the right. Artis Johnson, wide to the left. Up, jumping offside is number 72, Ken Lanier, the tackle about whom we talked. And that's another big mistake for Florida State. They've had several already. And I mean, jumping as they did offside against Pittsburgh on a second down and 15 situation. And now Lanier, the tackle, started the pass block even before the play developed.
They're so high for this game. Playing before their very loyal home crowd. They just haven't quite settled in yet. They will very shortly.
5-yard penalty takes him back to the 25.5-yard line. 8:27 to go, first quarter. Jim Simpson, Bud Wilkinson. And it is 7-0 as Kurt Unglaub comes on. They make a lot of jokes about Unglaub and about Phil Williams, as Williams says, I'm slower than Unglaub, and how slow can I be? I got to be very slow. But both men are very sure-handed wide receivers, and both men are in there now. That is Williams in motion to the left. Stockstill. Still with the football. Throws the football, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver. And that is Kurt Unglaub down at the 41-yard line with Lynn Thomas, one half of the Thomas brothers from Pascagoula, Mississippi, defending on the play.
A little bit of a rollout that time, which hopes will give Stockstill a little more time to throw the ball. If you're dropping straight back into the pocket with Hugh Green rushing, you got a problem having time.
And now back in comes Artis Johnson, the sophomore out of Tampa. And Johnson goes wide to the left, and Williams comes to the right. 8:22 to go, first quarter. And it is second down, and 15 to go. Williams again in motion right. Stockstill. Fake handoff. Has time. Drills the ball long. Intended for Artis Johnson, who at that time turned defensive back. He had to, because back there with him was Rick Trocano, number 8.
It's really fun to watch Hugh Green. As we take a look at the center, man in motion, you can see the guard slide over on him. Stockstill with that little bit of rollout had a lot of time, but the play is extremely well covered, almost intercepted.
And let me check as number 8 Trocano comes over. That was Lynn Thomas. That's an interesting story. I said Pappy Thomas and Lynn Thomas. You probably heard of their brother, and that is Norris Thomas, who plays in the National Football League. Third down, 15. Bill Williams in motion. FSU has not been able to get untracked offensively. Stockstill has to throw, has his time, and way out of bounds, intended for Sam Childers, the tight end, number 84. And again, we're going to get a lot of looks tonight, apparently, at Ron Stark, the fine punter.
Well, we still haven't had a first down by Florida State, but there are a lot of teams play Pittsburgh and don't make too many first downs.
Going deep is Tom Flynn. And again, Ron Stark. Second in the nation, by the way, in punting, with nearly 47 yards per punt. And that's Tom Flynn fading back inside his 30. Oh, my! Flynn puts his hand up back at the 15-yard line, and he called for a fair catch while on the dead run. He'll put it on the 13, and that's what Ron Stark is famous for, not only here but around the country.
58-yard punt.
58 yards. And a 59-yarder into the wind. There's the score on the Marino to Collins 39-yarder. Pittsburgh. But the bigger thing is for FSU, they have not, as Bud said, picked up a first down with 3:58 to go in the first quarter. And that dangerous. Dwight Collins goes wide to the right. And Benji Pryor, tight end, sets up right behind him as they string out the defense now of Florida State. One setback only, and Reno almost bobbled the ball, gets outstanding protection, but then he always does, and the ball is caught, the ball is loose, and belongs to...
Looked like Florida State had it for a moment.
They do. Ball was intended for Dombrowski, and I believe that is Corsi, number 64. That gets it at the 22.
He bobbled the snap from center, had marvelous protection, threw a perfect strike, with a very solid hit. The ball bounces loose. There's a wild melee for it. Florida State comes up with the recovery of the fumble, and they've got great field position on the 22.
Bill Capice is the outstanding field goal kicker, but FSU wants to take this in. First down from the 22, the first break of the night. Nobody in motion. That is the fullback, Whiting. Whiting breaks the tackle. He's inside the 10-yard line. Down to the 7-yard line goes Mike Whiting, the junior out of Largo, Florida. And that is first and goal to go.
Beautifully executed draw play, Jim, as we take a look at it again. When you get the big rush on, your penetration carries you past the blockers. Fine job of carrying the football, fine execution, and that's first down, and the first down made by Florida State at a time that couldn't have been more welcome.
Williams goes wide to the left. Unglaub is in and comes to the right. And this is Pot. Big hole inside the 5, down to the 4. Maybe they'll spot it at the 3. And that hole closed up in a hurry.
They're always very conscious of where Mr. Green is, and on the short yardage situations, I don't think they'll be coming at him.
Not a team all year long of the 4 they have played has scored a touchdown rushing against the Panthers of Pittsburgh. Florida State, second down. They spotted the ball at the 4. Williams is wide to the left. 2 tight ends in there. Stockstill hands, and that is Whiting again, and he may have picked up a half a yard, and maybe here too. It will be that no one scores running against Pittsburgh. Steve Fidel, the strong side linebacker, number 58, made the stop. It is third and goal to go. They've marked the ball still at the 4 as Dennis McKinnon, a sophomore wide receiver, number 6, comes in replacing Phil Williams. McKinnon has a lot more speed than does Williams.
Pitt came with a blitz last time, almost overran it.
Like the blitz is on, gets the ball away to Whiting, and Whiting's going to be thrown for loss. It is fourth down. Hugh Green took dead aim on Stockstill, and Meisner threw the runner, Whiting out of bounds.
Beautiful defensive play. You can watch the blitz. Both linebackers going. Man-for-man coverage in the secondary. Good call with the screen pass, but the man-for-man coverage is right on top of Whiting. And then support comes with the man who is supposed to make the play, and it is no gain.
Bill Capice has kicked more field goals than anybody else in the major college ranks, has kicked another one. He is now 10 for 11 as Capice kicks the field goal. And it is 7-3. Pittsburgh leads Florida State. 5:45 to go.
Tallahassee 27, WECA TV.
5:29 to go, first quarter. And Artrell Hawkins is the deep man, number 12, as Capice will kick off. Normally, he kicks the ball out of the end zone. They expect perhaps the biggest crowd ever to watch a Florida State game in Tallahassee here tonight. And why not? Depending upon which poll you watch, it is Pittsburgh third in the nation or fourth in the nation. And Florida State, after their fine upset win over Nebraska with a win tonight, would certainly vault into the top 10.
They didn't make very much yardage against Nebraska, but the second half was somewhat indicative of the 3 points we just saw. Nebraska turned the ball over to them 4 times. They did get 4 field goals plus a touchdown.
Coach, you always told me you look at the scoreboard, not at the statistics.
That's what you do all of the time, but when you're on the short end, you look at the statistics.
5:29 to go. To our right, we can see still in the dusk, the state capital of Florida, as we look to downtown Tallahassee. And all of northern Florida is excited over the Seminoles. 11-0 last year, only to lose to Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl, their first major bowl ever. And had they not tried for the 2 points against Miami, and had there not been an interference penalty in the end zone, maybe they would be in this ball game tonight 5-0. But those are all the ifs and buts, etc., etc. The point is they trail Pittsburgh, and the point is Pittsburgh is a team that is here undefeated thus far. All right, time is back in. The piece ready to kick off. Hawkins does kick it long, does kick it into the end zone, and Hawkins says, nope, I won't bring it up. First and 10, Pittsburgh at the 20-yard line. The Steelers, under Johnny Majors, who's now at Tennessee, and under Jackie Sherrill, in the last half dozen years or more, have just been outstanding. And this Dwight Collins, number 32, is in there, comes right out of the same Beaver Falls community that Tony Dorsett came from. And he came as a running back. After the second game of the season, they moved him to wide receiver. Well, now Marino is only 1 out of 3. Will try to hit him. He hit him on that one for 39 yards and a touchdown. Around the right side goes Collins. Number 50, Ron Simmons, who was not expected to play too much tonight, makes the stop.
He's got great speed, Jim. If we watch him again, it appears that the corner is turned, but Simmons has got speed enough to run with the back, catch him from behind, and he stops Collins.
That's not the name of a television show. That is incredible. He's not supposed to be able to move too fast.
He's not supposed to be able to catch Collins, I guarantee you that.
Brown is now coming as a wide receiver, number 18. Second down and 7. Look at the time Marino has and hits his man at the 37-yard line. And that is number 4, Woody Collier, the split end. And that is a first down for Pittsburgh. And I'll repeat something that I said. We asked Jackie Sherrill, I said, Jackie, as you take a look at this, I understand, watch Marino here, that you haven't been touched in 2 years, your quarterback. He said, well, maybe we have, but only a sack or 2 or maybe 3 in 2 years' time. And you can see the time Marino had there to get the ball to Woody Collier.
Their offensive line is not only very, very well coached, they're big and strong.
7-3, there's Jackie Sherrill. Pittsburgh leads, still first quarter. Marino has all the time in the world looking for Collins. The ball is on the throw, and he's back there to make the catch at the 37. He came back under, the coverage was behind him, and Butler makes the stop.
He was a better outfielder than the Florida State defenders. Marino getting the ball, that single setback. Doesn't really get his arm into this one too well. No rush. Then he finally gets a little pressure as he delivers the ball. It was a high, kind of crippled pigeon type. The ball was so short, he was able to come back under it. And let's take a look at Marino and see if they actually did get to him. It's something he's not used to. A lot of times when you throw the ball, you really don't know where it goes.
Running play this time, and down goes McMillan. A loss on the play. McMillan goes down.
That's one of the things Bobby Bowden said he didn't like to do, is to rush more than his normal 3 or 4 men, but that time they came with 7 and it was very effective.
Ron Hester filling in as a linebacker, former tight end, number 83, made the stop. The ball is at the 36-yard line. Collins goes wide to the right. And Collier comes to the left. Single setback, 3:50 to go. We're just in the first quarter in this 7-3 ball game. Marino not being touched. Throws the ball into the crowd and chalked out.
And the home crowd loves it. Once again, Jim, that perfectly balanced set is keeping Bobby Butler back off the line of scrimmage. He'd like to kind of squirm up there, rotate up where he can be a combination end to support the run, and then use his speed to cover deep. But the balanced offensive set that Pittsburgh using with 2 tight ends and 2 wideouts, 1 man in the backfield, keeps him out of the play.
That was Ron Stark, the punter, looking on, hoping he doesn't have to punt too many more times tonight. Now FSU can move the football. 3rd down and long. Marino now being chased for one of the few times, throws it long for the end zone, overthrows everybody. Intended for Collins, deep in the end few times that you will find Marino fighting for his life.
He handled very well, felt the pressure coming from the inside, rolled to the outside, had time to deliver the ball, but running was not able to get it on target. Badly overthrown.
Scott McLean comes into the defensive lineup, 3:36 showing, first quarter only. And we have had a ton of action already. Rooster Hawk, Jones down again. And here they go to the shotgun. Fourth down, they are going to kick it. And Hepler does take it away, and it does bounce on the 5 and does go into the end zone.
Awfully close. Pretty good maneuver there, though, lining up as though they were not going to kick, then getting Hepler back just a short distance. He tried to punt the ball, but he punted it just a little too far.
And there's a flag on the play.
I think it was illegal procedure on the Pittsburgh offensive team moving from their shift and then not being set for the full 1 second.
I think Dan Marino was a guilty man as you see the ball go into the end zone. That is Greg Futch saying we don't want that. We want the football at the 20-yard line. Well, I tell you, Northern Florida and Tallahassee have the real football fever, and they're seeing a real football game tonight. 7-3. The only 3 points of Florida State set up on the fumble recovery by the Seminoles inside the 25-yard line. Platt is a tailback. The fake to him. Then the throw by Williams. First down, 32-yard line. Williams makes the catch. As I said, he is not fast, but anything thrown near him, he gets.
Great throw that time by Stockstill, too. He was well covered. He just made the little turn, and the ball was right there. Let's take a look at it again. A little bit of a running fake to Platt. Stockstill sets up, and you can see the little curl right between the 2 defensive men. First down.
Dan Short filling in for the injured Williamson was the defender who made the tackle, and now down at the 30-yard line for a loss of 2 goes number 29, Sam Platt.
We said before the game's in that neither of these teams had run the ball particularly well, and that certainly seems to be the pattern thus far. Both of them throw it extremely well, but their running attack leaves little to be desired.
Well, we can talk about the defense of Hugh Green. We can talk about the kicking of Ron Stark. But I'd like to talk about the protection that Dan Marino gets when they're on offense. It is incredible. He stands back there all day long. All right, third down. Check that. Whistle blows. Flags go down as Stockstill is ushered out of bounds by Hugh Green.
I think we had some movement in the offensive line. Caused the defensive reaction, but sometimes it doesn't get called that way. Let's take a look at it. I don't know that I saw any movement that time. The Pittsburgh man said he thought the center moved his shoulder, and the officials are now trying to decide.
Is it second down and 17? Is it second down and 7? Or does it stay at second down and 12? They're giving the options to Hugh Green. And now they're saying illegal procedure. Crowd doesn't like it. If they don't like it, I don't think Bobby Bowden does either. Not that he feels it's a bad call, but because it is yet another mistake by this hyped-up Seminole team.
That's the third time in the first quarter that they have had illegal procedure on offense.
Ball at the 25-yard line, so it'll be second down and 17 from there. And now Kurt Unglaub comes in as a wide receiver, and Hardis Johnson goes out. Williams goes to the top of the screen. Unglaub comes to this side. Stockstill, Green trying to get to him. Good job on Green, gets the ball over. There is his tight end, Childers, and Childers is out near the 30-yard line. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line.
Green really gave that one a great rush. He forced it. He took the inside pattern. Stockstill felt him take the inside pattern and had the very good judgment and good reflex to roll it outside of Green and hit the pass, although it was kind of a do-or-die situation. Only picked up 2 yards on the play.
Platt is back into the ball game on third down at about 15 to go from the 27-yard line. Stockstill has time.
Let's take a look at it again, watching the linebacker. Wish we had a picture of Stockstill. We can see the rush coming. Green has dropped off as a middle linebacker. Here comes the pressure on him. And I don't see any arm forward there at all, Jim. I'm sorry that I don't, but I didn't see that arm start forward.
Well, Ron Stark gets another chance. They kick the ball away, and Tom Flynn is the deep man. Rush is not on. He's got another gorgeous win. Lynn goes back inside the 20, inside the 15, still running. He's inside the 10 at the 9. Harris is after him, and he's bumped out of bounds. Harris is looking around saying, I was clipped. But they're not calling that. They're instead saying the ball comes inbounds inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 15 and a half.
And that was a 72-yard punt.
Is that all?
That is all, 72 yards.
Brian?
32 seconds to go. That is what kept, as Bud told you, Florida State in the game against Nebraska. They couldn't do anything, but they'd set Nebraska back on their heels. Our score is 7-3. Collins and Collier come wide to the left, bringing Butler and Jarvis Coursey over with them. Ball is handed off, and that is Rooster Jones, and he may have gotten a yard, and that is about all. It looked like James Gilbert, number 51, the middle guard, was in there, along with Reggie Herring, 39, and Ron Hester, 83. Now, Ron Simmons is not in there. It is his backup, junior James Gilbert, 51 at the time.
I tell you, Jim, when you force your opponents to punt from their own 21-yard line, you do not expect to start from your own 15.
Second down and 9 to go as the first quarter is over. That's it. And it has been an outstanding and exciting first quarter. Pittsburgh scored on a 39-yard touchdown pass, and Florida State has kicked the field goal. At the end of one, it is Pittsburgh 7 and Florida State 3. We start the second quarter, second down 9, and there's a running play. Rooster Jones breaks it across the 30-yard line, and down he goes with a saving tackle, but he got him out of a big hole. Bobby Butler, number 21, came up, and that is the longest run of the night by Pittsburgh Panther Rooster Jones. Carries it out to the 31-yard line, and it is first down the Panthers.
That's the kind of thing that you need to do to get the offense balanced up. Statistically, Florida State has had a very balanced offense. In their first 4 games, they are only 2 yards difference total rushing from passing.
Dan Marino with one setback. He's got the time. He throws the ball deep, and this may be caught by Collins. It is. Bonasort, who is from Pittsburgh, fell down, and Collins fell down and caught the ball as he fell at the 25-yard line. And here come the Panthers. And Bobby Bowden is wondering, how can it happen?
Well, it's not supposed to happen when you got the man covered. Quarterback dropping straight back. Collins just runs a little post pattern. It looks like Bonasort's got him, but he doesn't have the speed at the last moment as he turns in Collins and makes a great catch of the football, falling as he makes the reception.
We asked Jackie Sherrill how fast is White Collins. His answer, about as fast as he wants to be.
Or has to be.
First man through, down to the 20-yard line. There goes McMillan, Randy McMillan, and they'll mark it at the 22-yard line. Let's say a gain of 3, second down and 7. Early here in the second quarter. I'm Jim Simpson with Bud Wilkinson, and we have a game involving undefeated Pittsburgh and once beaten Florida State by a single point by Miami, and the team that upset Nebraska a week ago. Rooster Jones comes back in. And now checks quickly out as they bring in Dombrowski as second tight end. And there is their fullback, McMillan, who doesn't get anywhere. Ball is dropped and belongs to Florida State. And that is number 54, Arthur Scott, who's been out with the ankle injury, who has been an outstanding player tonight. Second fumble. One of them cost Pittsburgh 3 points. This may have cost them 3 or 7 of their own. Oh, now Rick Stockstill will try to get it going. Sending Williams wide to the right.
It's a quick handoff. Ball is put in, but bounced off. never came close to making the proper exchange.
Stockstill hands off and whoops, going absolutely nowhere. Here's Mike Whiting. Getting up in front of him is Ken Lanier, 72, trying to handle a blocking. And there's Sunseri, the linebacker for Pittsburgh, who was behind the whole thing, along with Boyarsky. And so that is a gain of, well, to be generous, a yard. Second down and 9 from the 23-yard line.
I think the reason Bobby Bowden was shaking his head is both the touchdown pass and the last long pass to Collins really were quite well covered. It was just a remarkable catch in both cases.
Dennis McKinnon is in and now is in motion to the right. He is a speedster, but it goes back to the tailback, Platt, who used to be a wide receiver himself. Platt gets out to the 28-yard line. It'll be third down and 4 to go. Lynn Thomas, number 3, ran him out of bounds and then pats him on the head. Platt was a wide receiver, been a running back in high school and wanted to be a running back here. Said he didn't like to be a wide receiver and then got his chance and is now a running back. Williams comes back in and Unglov comes back in, numbers 87 and 19. And on third down and a short 4 at the 29-yard line. Florida State, remember, trailed Nebraska 14-3 at the half last week before winning. Here's Stockstill. Flag is down as he overthrows his man and is almost intercepted by Trocano.
Great rush by Pittsburgh.
Flag is down, remember, at the 28-yard line.
I don't believe, Jim, that the offensive line for Florida State ever got set.
And that's going to be their 4th illegal procedure or motion penalty in the first 18 minutes of the ball game.
The way Pitt's rushing them, they're trying to get a bead on who's coming from where. And that time while they were trying to get that set up, they didn't take their 3-point stance quickly enough.
Tom Flynn goes back, and now hold your breath, folks, because here comes Ron Stark again. Last time he was only over 70 yards. This man can keep a team in a ball game or force another team out of the ball game, and it is almost gets the ball away. Stark is knocked down. It is going to go over, I believe, to Florida State. Now they may take it because of the fumble at the other end, and they can take the play instead of the penalty. Instead of taking roughing the kicker, they can take the recovery of the fumble at the 24.
Big rush. It's right up the middle this time. You always try to have the rushing men go by the kicker over the spot from where the ball will be kicked, but when you're coming right up the slot, you don't quite have that angle. If you touch the kicker and do not touch the ball, it's a penalty, but the fumble downfield, of course, will be taken by Florida State. And once again, a fumble by Pittsburgh. The third fumble, the third turnover has given Florida State excellent field position.
Ron Hester taking off his disguise as the man on specialty teams, number 59. Going back to 83, the linebacker in action because Pirowski is out, recovered the fumble. Outstanding field position for Florida State. It is 7-3 Pittsburgh. 12 minutes to go.
This
and ESPN will be there. Stockstill is back to throw. Has the time in the end zone over everybody except perhaps Pittsburgh, and he is out of bounds. The man who went back trying to intercept the ball was Trocano, and a flag is down. Back upfield. Flags are flying, and so are footballs. And they're calling the penalty against Florida State.
Illegal hands, I believe, but I'm not quite sure. Didn't quite catch the signal.
Well, we will soon get it. You know, most official signals are standard, and some do a little variation, whether they realize it or not. This is Paul Schmidt. And I think what he's saying is there's a crackback block.
That's correct.
Crackback block on the play. Takes the ball to the 39-yard line. They've got to get inside the 15 to get a first down. That's yet another mistake. Florida State is piling them up, but they're still in a ball game, and we've got a long way to go. Stockstill, hands off, and there goes his tailback flat all the way down to the 21-yard line. It'll be second down and about 7 to go.
They had the rush on, and as we've talked a couple of times, anytime you're pouring in there, if the ball carrier breaks past the 7-man rush, as he does here, there's very little support downfield. Big opening. The safety man has to come up and make the tackle. A very nice cut. Finally Sam Platt comes across, Pam Platt, the ball carrier rather, and the tackle is made after a great gain.
Second down, 7 to go. Stockstill hands the ball to Platt, and wow, you know what I was about to say as the tackle is made there by Meisner. The name that I've not called recently has been that of Hugh Green. After that one outstanding play, he has been pressuring the passer. He's very much in the ball game, but they are really teaming up to stop Hugh Green.
And he's bouncing around enough that it's very hard to locate him. He's on the end sometimes, he's a stacked linebacker sometimes, and then he's kind of a rover at other times.
Just look for the number 99. Hardest Johnson goes to the right. It is third down and 9. The ball inside the 25-yard line. Stockstill back. Goes the ball, and he's got this man. Hardest Johnson. 23-yard touchdown pass to Hardest Johnson.
Let's take a look at it again. A little bit of a running fake here. Throws the defense momentarily. A very, very hard rush. Stockstill makes a great throw. Johnson is open, and it is a touchdown.
And now, Florida State finds itself in the lead. Both scores helped along by fumble recoveries. Capice in to add the extra point and does so. And it is 10-7. Pittsburgh dominated the early going of the first quarter. Florida State hung in there only on one fumble recovery, has righted the ship a little bit, and that was a picture play from Rick Stockstill to Hardest Johnson. And there's the score. Florida State 10 and Pittsburgh 7. And the Seminole mascot, their horse Renegade, absolutely thrilled as Bill Capice will kick it off. We have figured it out. When it says 18 minutes and 33 seconds to go, what it means on the scoreboard clock is 8 minutes and 33 seconds to go.
Hard to lose the one.
Bill Capice, and in the end zone will be Artrell Hawkins. Last time he had no shot at all at returning the ball because it was too deep. This one he may at the goal line decide to bring it out. He drops the football. The Florida State team is down there, and down goes Hawkins at the 7-yard line. Now Pittsburgh is showing a few cracks at the seam for the first time tonight.
They're playing in a very difficult field position. On the first series of downs, Green made a great play and threw Stockstill at the 2-yard line after a very short kickoff return by Florida State. When they punted, the Panthers got the ball on the 44-yard line as we watch the ball being bobbled here in the end zone. Everybody now gathers around the ball. Can't quite tell who's going to pick it up. They have a little meeting, decide somebody's going to get it, and by now the Florida State defense has penetrated downfield, and they get the kickoff return to only the 6-yard line.
Maybe they had a little meeting and decided somebody had better get it.
That's right.
Now Marino might have taken too much time, and he may be complaining that it is the crowd. But now he is having a discussion with Mark May, his right tackle. And now the Panthers begin to make the mistakes, letting Hardest Johnson loose, then dropping the kickoff, and now a penalty called when they had a first down on their own 6-yard line. And Dan Marino, the sophomore, will try to regroup them. They move the ball back half the distance. And say there was motion in the line.
And once again, Marino says we cannot hear the snap count. This time the referee agrees with him. We cannot hear the snap count, so it's an official's timeout.
All right, from the end zone, first down. Marino will try it again. Running around the yellow. He may have taken too much time. Now he throws the ball out here, intended for Woody Collier at the 7-yard line. And that'll get them a second down and 8 situation. Funny thing, in talking to Jackie Sherrill this morning, he said, listen, let me tell you about the Florida State crowd. It is an outstanding, enthusiastic crowd, but it is not a mean crowd. He said, I love to play down here, and you'll enjoy them tonight. Not don't think his team enjoys it so much down at that end of the field at the moment.
Well, when your team goes ahead, your crowd's going to be enthusiastic, and it's hard to be quiet.
All right, Marino with the football. Marino gets it away. Marino for Collins, and it is no good. Double team back there by Keith Jones and Bobby Butler. And Dwight Collins can't hold on to that one. And it is third down and long yardage to go. 9:49 left. And there's Jackie Sherrill. Let me make a correction on the scoreboard clock, Bud. I said I got it figured out. Now I got it figured out. When it says 18, it really means 10, not 8. Okay. Because there are 9 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first half, where the score is 10-7, Florida State. One setback now. And now the Florida State team is saying, hey, come on, folks. Let them play. Marino pumps once, in trouble, gets the ball out on a delay, and down goes the man who caught the ball short of the first down. And that is number 84, Benji Pryor. As James Harris, number 33, the cornerback, was there to get him. And it is fourth down. And now Dave Hepler will have to come in and kick it away, and he's been watching Ron Stark of Florida State have an outstanding night.
And the Seminoles play with great enthusiasm, and they've really caught fire after making the go-ahead touchdown.
Gary Henry, a very exciting punt returner, is at the 45-yard line for Florida State. Pittsburgh, unbeaten, ranked in the top 5, having a shorts medal tonight. The rush is on, and Henry's going to watch the ball hit and take a Florida State bounce back near the 45-yard line. But it's first down for the Seminoles of Florida State. 8:51 to go, and listen to this crowd. The team is held on. The fans here have gone big time lately, and they're happy about it. 11-0 last year in the Orange Bowl, and last week upsetting Nebraska. This week, at the moment at least, leading Pittsburgh by the score of 10-7. But there's a long way to go, and Florida State is trying to prove. Now, this school was just chartered in 1947, so there's not a long tradition to this school in playing football, as there is, for example, a great tradition of Pittsburgh.
Chuck Sutherland, come back to the glory days of Pittsburgh. The national championship won by Johnny Major's team. Jackie Sherrill's team bidding for it this year. Florida State is playing this game just like they did last week. Turnovers giving them the lead at this point in time, as turnovers gave them the victory against Nebraska.
Bill Williams wide to the right, Ungla to the left. Williams the man in motion. Knoxdale on the pitch back to the flat. Breaks it down near the 40-yard line. A pick of 5 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 5. Hanging on for dear life was Ricky Jackson, number 87.
It's the basic play out of the I formation. Man in motion to keep the secondary support down a little bit. The toss back to Platt. He turns it up inside, finds a little opening, accelerates, lowers the boom, gets 5 yards on the play, 2 with extra effort.
Second down and 5. Ball on the 41. Second man through is Platt. Platt's got the first down inside the 35-yard line. And this time it is number 29, Dan Short, taking over for Carlton Williamson at strong safety, making the tackle. And remember, for the Panthers, Terry White, their starting left cornerback, is not playing, knee injury, and Carlton Williamson, their starting strong safety, is not playing, foot injury. Both are expected to be back next week when it's homecoming at Pittsburgh and West Virginia comes to town. Again, Phil Williams is the man in motion. Again, this pitch back is to Platt. Platt looking for running room as a flag goes down. He only gets a yard or 2, but a flag is down at the 31-yard line. Hugh Green right in the middle of the whole situation, talking with the official. Florida State has drawn more than its share of penalties.
That's better than more than your share of fumbles.
Aha, which the Panthers have done. Each team has had a touchdown pass. The difference is Bill Caprice's field goal. Well, they're going to have a little discussion here.
He wants to be sure that he's got the right information his decision.
Holding charged against the Seminoles. And now, personal foul charged against Pittsburgh. So it is still first down. 7:43 left to go. We're in the first half. And there's all-world Hugh Green. They line him up everywhere. Down lineman, and now Stockstill looks to the sideline. Williams comes over to the sideline. And McKinnon is going to replace Williams. And Stockstill is saying, okay, here's the play. I've done it, McKinnon. Dennis McKinnon. Ball is inside the 33-yard line. And are they glad to see that man, John Madden, back. Been out with an ankle. Senior starting center. Quick pitch back. That is Platt. Platt gets a good block. Gets down near the 30-yard line, a gain of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7 across the way. And there is Fidel again. Steve Fidel, number 58, the senior linebacker, who made the stop. And Ricky Jackson also floated over there, number 87.
Looked to me like he had an opening, but the pursuit was so fast that as he turned upfield, it closed before he could get through it.
Artis Johnson goes wide to the right. Williams comes to the left. Florida State leading by 3. And there goes Platt. There he goes! Florida State. Lynn Thomas made the saving tackle.
They've done a great job, Jim, of reading the blitz by Pittsburgh. They come all out to rush the passer. You don't have the ability to slide with the play to get the proper angle of pursuit against the run. They keep overrunning it. Let's take a look at it here. Just a handoff. Everybody's trying to pressure going inside, and there's nobody left upfield to move laterally to get over in front of Platt. Looked as though he might take it all the way. We get a very rapid close, and he's stopped on the 1-yard line.
Nobody has carried the ball in against Pittsburgh all year long, rushing with the football. And down goes Stockstill, hit first by number 66, Sunseri, and I believe the ball belongs to him. Stockstill, I tell you, Sunseri's like a running back for him. He was in the backfield as quickly as Stockstill faded back.
Stockstill did a great job to keep the football.
Takes the ball from the 1 back to the 5. It is second down and goal to go.
Let's take a look at it. You can see the gap being shot right here. He doesn't have time to hand the ball off. He's very fortunate to not fumble the football. So he did drop it, but gets back on it.
All right, quick pitch back. Here comes Platt, and he is tripped up and gets inside the 5. And it'll be third and short. And that time Hugh Green and Ricky Jackson were very much a part of the play. Jackson talking to Platt. Was from Jacksonville. The play brought in. This is third down. Stockstill throws it out in the end zone. Florida State moves out to a lead that is unprecedented, doubling the total point of any team has scored against Pittsburgh all year long.
When you start out first down on the 1-yard line and wind up throwing in third down from your 5, you know how well they play rush defense. Stockstill pumps, throws. Kelly is open in the end zone, backing up, and he makes the reception, almost intercepted, but the timing wasn't there defensively. It was there offensively.
Bill Capice is now 19 for 19 and kicking extra points. And the Pittsburgh team, remember, broke on top 7-0, and Florida State looked as though it was going to be a long night. They could not get a first down. Then Pittsburgh began to drop the football, and Florida State began to pounce on it. And most notably recently, there have been the runs of Sam Platt. And And on each occasion, and who knows what the defenses are and whether they've rotated one side or the other, but on each occasion, the touchdown pass has come in the far right-hand corner of the end zone. Now, whether or not the setup, the safeties, the cornerbacks, the linebackers had the same assignment each time, I don't know, but it's just a coincidence. They're both over in the right corner.
I believe they were playing what we call cover 5, Jim, where you have 2 people playing deep and everybody else covering man for man. That's short, close to the goal line. You don't really have enough room, enough time to go for the ball. It's not in the air that long.
Bill Capice has accounted for 5 of the 17 points tonight. His last kick was returned by Hawkins, who's standing on the 1-foot line. Florida State is charged up. Capice puts a foot into it. Hawkins in the end zone will come out to the 20. First down 10.
Best field position Pittsburgh has had the ball was on their first possession, which was, as we look at the scoring play, drive, 7 plays, elapsed time 3:22. But the only time that Pittsburgh has had the ball on their side of midfield on an exchange was the first time when we had a rather short punt and they got it on the 44. Other than that, they've been on the 20 or behind it, with one other exception.
And now Dan Marino brings him out. He's not had good field position for some little time now, and here comes Hawkins, and he's going to be dragged down. Hawkins on a fine play by Gary Futch, number 79. One half of the Futch brothers from Ocala, Florida, 6'2", 245. A loss on the play of a yard, back to the 19, second down and 11.
Florida State is content not to try to rush the passer that hard. They're playing normal defense where they hit, control, and then pursue. Pittsburgh has been trying to get to the passer blitzing. They're getting so much penetration that on a few running plays they haven't been able to get back into the pursuit.
Jarvis Dorsey comes out. Gary Henry, the 5th back, comes in for Florida State on second and long. Running play, Hawkins with the football. Ron Hester, number 83, hit him first, and then everybody covered up. And they said that Hester was not a hitter, former tight end. Well, he made a hit on Hawkins then.
Well, I don't think you play major college football if you're not a hitter. I don't think he hits quite like Herring does, but as you can see here, as we get a little reverse play, Hawkins has the ball, and that's pretty solid contact.
On his third down and 8 to go from the 22-yard line. 4:19 left to go in the half, 17-7, Florida State. Marino lots of time, fires the ball out. Almost intercepted that ball.
I think, Jim, that's the best throw he's made. Somehow Collins just didn't keep his eye on it. It went right between his hands when he should have made the reception. Let's take another look. Beautiful pass protection blocking by the Pittsburgh line. Marino sets, throws. That was a little bit high, almost intercepted.
And now Hepler will come in to kick the ball away to Gary Henry. 9 men on the line of scrimmage for Florida State. 4:06 to go, first half. Butler trying to block it, cannot. Henry watches the ball come down to him at the 43. He's a good punt returner, but has no shot there. Excellent special teams play by Pittsburgh. And Florida State has excellent field position again at the 46. And time of possession was much in the favor of Pittsburgh in the first quarter, but I think at the end of this quarter, you're going to find it's changed a little bit.
32-yard punt, which contrasts tremendously with what happens when we have Stark kicking for Florida State.
Bill Williams goes wide to the right in the 17-7 ball game. Less than 4 minutes to go in the half. Capacity crowd, halftime ceremonies coming up, and I'm sure that they will be royally received here because at the moment the Seminoles and their fans are having a wonderful evening. Whether or not it continues, we'll just have to wait and see. Williams in motion. Into the line goes their fullback. Check that. That is the fullback, but for the first time tonight, it is Ken Burnett, number 20, who has come in, and Whiting is out.
Little fake pitch to the tailback and then hand it off to the short man. Pittsburgh read it perfectly.
Second down and nearly 10 to go. McKinnon and Hardis Johnson both come wide left. But that is Platt going the other way, and there's a fine play across the way by Ricky Jackson. You see Hugh Green and Fidel in your picture, but it was Ricky Jackson, 87, who made that play. And it is third down and 7.
I'm sure that Jackie Sherrill's beginning to wonder, do we keep pressuring him? We've been burned so badly when we've penetrated too much as we watch a replay here, and we see Jackson coming across to make the tackle.
And Green was held out of the play most of the time, but it is third down and 10. Florida State guilty of many mistakes, but they've got the big lead. There goes Platt. Platt has got the first down. Green peeled back to make the stop, but Platt has the first down. And this senior from Jacksonville is having an outstanding evening against the team that is second in the nation in rushing defense.
They're doing a marvelous job of sensing when the rush is going to be on. Let's take a look at it again. You can see the hard rush here by Pittsburgh as they try to go through the gaps. As they go through the gaps, they get behind the ball carrier. They don't have the lateral pursuit. Platt picked up the first down.
Ricky Williams comes in, number 44, to replace Platt for the moment. He is the tailback. He is the man with the football, and he's not going anywhere, is he? That front four did a fine job there, and there's Ricky Jackson again getting up. Jerry Claiborne of Maryland said after last week's game, they talk about Hugh Green. I agree with it. But add in Ricky Jackson, and you've got the finest pair of defensive ends I've seen in, well, perhaps my life playing collegiate ball. Hardis Johnson comes in as they bring in wide receivers with the plays to junior Rick Stockstill, who watched Jimmy Jordan and Wally Woodham play so well here for so long. Second down, 9 to go from the 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. Stockstill still with the football. He's got time. He's got a man open. That is Mowat. And Mowat is inside the 25-yard line to mark it at the 25 and a half. That's a first down. Cappy Thomas runs him out of bounds.
Very tough pattern to cover. Fake one way, have your tight end cross the field on the other side as we watch it here. Fake going left, late draw. Stockstill turns, throws back to Mowat, who's crossing the field, going against the grain, and he was wide open. Picks up the first down and puts Florida State in field goal range.
For Bill Capice, it certainly is, with 1:28 left in the half. Florida State already up by 10. Stockstill still has the football. Goes deep. He's got a man on his feet. He had beaten in Thomas, going down and then cutting toward the corner of the end zone, but Stockstill overthrew his man.
That's the defense we were talking about, where you drop two safety men back to simply play the ball. They get on the hash marks as we take a look at it again. The running fake froze the front men, who are supposed to be covering man for man. That enabled the receiver to beat them, and you can see that Stockstill is a little upset because, boy, he was wide open.
All right, second down 10, 1:21 showing on the clock. Pitch back. That is Ricky Williams, and fine play there. And guess who? Hugh Green. That's who. He must have heard me say that he had been mentioned too much lately. Last couple of plays, Hugh Green has been very much there. And it is a loss on the play on third down and 11.
It's hard to make the tackle when they run away from you.
Now, Capice has great range, remember, but they would surely like to pick up, if not the first down, another 5 or 6 to get him a little bit closer with less than a minute to go. Bill Williams wide to the right.
I'm going to be curious about how Pittsburgh plays it. Do they give it the big rush or play it normal?
Well, here they come, and the ball is knocked down. Trying to get the ball out to Platt in the flat. And now they're going to send out Capice, and this will be a boomer, but Bud and I on the sidelines earlier watched him boom some balls to the uprights from 51 and 52 yards out. As a matter of fact, I beg your pardon, Bud, the only one that he has missed has been from 52 yards out, and he is 10 for 11 this year, including one tonight, and this will be 43 yards. From 43 yards out, and another one. And another one. 37 seconds to go. Maryland scored 9 points. Boston College 6. That's 15. Kansas and Temple 5 between them. That's 20 points. And already Florida State has as many in this first half as has been scored against the Pittsburgh defense all year long in 4 games. 37 seconds left. Capice will try to put another one out of the end zone. His leg may be getting tired. Oh, no, it's not. Driving Hawkins deep in the end zone, and he's not going to bring it up. I tell you, when you can get punts of distance and no return and kickoffs into the end zone with no return, that is a big plus to any team. And that's what both Jackie Sherrill and Bobby Bowden were talking about with Bud before the game began, the kicking game.
And what that means on field position, as I said, Pittsburgh got the ball the first time on the Florida State 44. Since then, the best field position they've had has been their own 20-yard line on an exchange. 80 yards is a long way to go, particularly with only 37 seconds left.
And 5 defensive backs in there now for Florida State. Thinking Marino will crank it up. And now he's throwing to Collins, and Collins is going to throw, and the ball is caught. Caught by number 82, Dabrowski, at the 34-yard line with 29 seconds to go. So Jackie Sherrill goes to his bag of tricks, having Collins, a former running back out of Beaver Falls, taking the pitch out to Marino, and then throwing to Dabrowski.
And then wildly signaling from the sidelines, timeout, timeout.
Oh, there's timeout for the ball at the 34-yard line, and the crowd quite pleased with what's going on. And here's the trickiness of Pittsburgh that picked up some yardage, but not nearly enough.
Very hard. The defense isn't going to force you very much. The halfback throwing the ball, and the receiver is open, but as you can see, the Florida State people coming from the right of the screen, they're just going to stop the long bomb. They're not going to worry about anything else.
Here's that same play again, and as we saw Marino move there, and we see Dabrowski go down with the pursuit of Florida State, reminded that Marino did not practice on Wednesday this week, nor did he for 3 days last week, and played very well last week against Maryland and beating him 38-9. Strained some ligaments in his knee, but has shown good mobility. But the biggest thing is that we point out that they just don't get to Marino, have not for years, nor his predecessor there, Rick Trucano. The thing is about Marino tonight, he was pressured out of the pocket on one occasion. And that's about as close as they came. They didn't lay a hand on him, but they pressured him out of the pocket. On the 34-yard line, first down 10, 29 seconds to go in the half. It's 20-7, Florida State. And the Panthers send 2 wide receivers out to the left. And Marino, lots of time again, fires the football, and that was on one hop to his intended receiver, who is the same man, Mike Dombrowski, at the 42-yard line. And that took 6 seconds, 23 seconds left.
They've got to hit something in front of the 3 deep safety men as they rotate, and then get a good run to get it down where they've got a chance for a field goal.
Pittsburgh is number 3 in scoring defense in the nation, allowing 5 points per ball game. They've allowed 4 times that amount thus far tonight.
They will not any longer hold that position, I don't believe, after tonight.
White Collins comes wide to the right. Other wide receivers, or at least they're lined up that way, go wide left. Again, excellent protection for Marino, and the ball is dropped by Dombrowski. Had the ball at the 43-yard line and dropped it.
Marino did a fine job of throwing it. He put it over the linebackers in front of the safety men, but Dombrowski just did not concentrate enough to make the catch. As we see Marino go back, there's only a 3-man rush, and he's got all day to throw the ball over the linebacker, slightly behind, but Dombrowski could have made the catch, did not do so.
All right, Julius Dawkins is in and wide to the left. He's a wide receiver, number 80. First time we've seen him tonight. Marino is going for Dawkins down the sideline, maybe intercepted. It is by Keith Jones, who's back at the 40, the 50, the 40, and Jones goes down with 3 seconds left in the half inside the 35-yard line. Yet another turnover, and Florida State had 2 men back there on Julius Dawkins, and the ball was overthrown. And Jones, the academic All-American, picked it off, number 28, and he's going to keep that football.
The problem here is, do you go for the field goal right now, or do you?
That's exactly what they're going to do.
3 seconds, they got to go for the field goal right now.
It'll be 51 yards, Bud. We saw him hit him from this hash mark with nobody rushing him in warm-ups. Let's call it 50 yards only. For Bill Capice, who has hit on 2 tonight. And to repeat ourselves, he is now 11 of 12, more than anybody else in the major college ranks have kicked this season. And he was not the field goal kicker here before this season. He was the kickoff man.
Pittsburgh really did not get over very well to cover for the interception. The linemen were over on one side of the field when the interception was made. They did not react too well.
From 50 yards out, a lateral foot. It is good. And that's the end of the half. The third field goal for Capice, who's kicked 2 extra points and now has 11 of the 23 as he runs to the dressing room. And number 3 or 4 ranked Pittsburgh, depending on which poll you're reading, and they're 4-0, really have their job cut out for them in the second half. At the half, Florida State 23 and Pittsburgh 7. The Florida State band is on the field. The Florida State fans are ecstatic. The Pittsburgh fans will be forgiven if they're a little shell-shocked. But Bud Wilkinson would like to say that, hey, they haven't hurt Pittsburgh that much, but I said the bottom line, Bud, is the score is 23-7.
I know that is, but I really don't feel that Pittsburgh has played a bad first half defensively at all. Their offense has turned the ball over 3 times on fumbles, 1 interception. Florida State made 1 drive of 44 yards for a touchdown. Other than that, they've been set up where all you had to do is move it just a little bit to put points on the board. The thing that is so dramatic to me, we talked before the game about Stark's punting. He's punted 5 times for a 54-yard average per kick. Pittsburgh's averaging 31 yards per kick, and that's really field position, and the field position is why the Seminoles are ahead.
All right, let us be hypothetical here, as they say. You've got the Pittsburgh team, and I don't mean that I want you to second-guess Jackie Sherrill or Bobby Bowden, but you made all these mistakes, and you're in there, and you're down by this score to a Florida State team playing at home. What do you tell them?
Well, you tell them that we've got to make the running attack go a little bit, but we've got to start catching the football. We've done a good job of protecting our passer, but we have dropped too many balls downfield. We don't need to try to make it all up in the first time we get possession. We can stay with our game plan, score 3 more times, we win the game, and just play solid defense and don't ever give them good field position.
I don't know if that's simple or not, but we'll come back to Tallahassee, Florida in just a moment. Florida State now on the Florida State University Band. And right now they're playing a brand new day from the Broadway production of The Wiz. Possession of the ball was in the second quarter, Bud, because at the end of the first quarter, it was Pittsburgh way out in front, and they scored on the second play of the game, and have not the second play of the game from offense, and they have not scored since.
And again, you've got to point out the marvelous punting of Stark. He's averaging 53 yards per punt against 31 yards per punt. When you're making that much on each exchange, that gives you that field position.
Florida State has gained 53 fewer yards than has Pittsburgh, but the scoreboard reads at halftime, Florida State 23 and number 3 or 4 ranked Pittsburgh, depending on those polls, only 7. The second half kickoff when we come back to Tallahassee.
Tallahassee 27,
Jim Simpson, Bud Wilkinson. We're back in Tallahassee, Florida with the scores. We are about to begin the second half. It's 23-7. There's Rick Stockstill of Florida State, who's had an outstanding first half. And, of course, his scores have been set up by fumbles. Here is Dan Marino in that starting backfield. He's been getting excellent protection, and Pittsburgh will receive the ball. Rooster Collins, or rather Rooster Jones, played only a little bit, but did have one good run. Mark May leads the offensive line as Bill Capice has kicked off into the end zone again, and that comes under the situation of so what's new.
And that's so really devastating to an offensive football team when you start on your own 20-yard line or behind it every time you get the ball 1st and 10. It's a long way to go against a well-drilled defense like Florida State, and I know that Bobby Bowden has told his men, don't ever give them anything cheap, and also we've got to score some more points. Don't take it for granted. We got enough to win.
White Collins goes wide to the right. Woody Collier comes to the left. Marino hands to McMillan as fullback, and McMillan is broken across the 30-yard line and has a first down. Bumped out of bounds by James Harris, number 33, along with Keith Jones, number 28, and now there's a flag down out of bounds. And maybe Florida State was a little bit too eager to put the hit on McMillan.
McMillan was out of bounds. They kept trying to tackle him, and I think we're going to get an unnecessary roughness penalty or a personal foul.
Now that's just the kind of thing that gives the Panthers excellent field position, as Bobby Bowden knows.
That's what you don't want to have happen.
And you can read his lips there saying he gave them an elbow. But that'll move the ball out near midfield and be a first down near midfield. So that is a pickup of 29 yards on that one play.
They started with the draw play. Their passing has been the only thing that's looked consistently good. Florida State was thinking pass. They overrushed, opened it up for the draw.
And Marino, the sophomore out of Pittsburgh, has Collins right and Collier left again. A fake, a little flip out to McMillan as fullback, and McMillan takes a hit after he gains 2 or 3 yards across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Well, it may be that at the end of the season they will crown a national champion who has lost a football game. But the odds are against it. Ohio State has already lost. Oklahoma's now lost twice. Nebraska's lost to Florida State. Florida State's lost. Pittsburgh has not lost, but finds itself down 23-7. If there's a chance for a national championship, as 2 preseason polls said there was, they had better get on the stick. There's Collins in the secondary. First down inside the 40. Simply stood up and flipped the ball to Collins, and they're laying off Collins 5 to 10 yards, and it was an easy job for White Collins to pick up the first down.
I think that was an automatic. There were no linebackers out there. Simply 2 safety men ready to take him inside and outside. They just hit him quick, and with no linebacker there, it was an easy catch and a big gain.
John Brown replaces Collins for the moment. Goes wide to the right. First down at the 36 of Florida State. Marino hands to Rooster Jones. And a fine tackle by Reggie Herring, number 39, the linebacker on that side. Each team playing without some defensive stalwarts tonight. On second down and long, automatically Florida State takes out Jarvis Coursey and goes to the 5th back, Gary Henry, number 40. Number 82, Dombrowski goes wide right. Collier's the man that's flanked wide left. Second and long. Marino back to throw. Marino puts it up. It is for Collins. Touchdown! 36 yards.
I don't know how he beat him that bad. Everybody knew they were going to throw it. He has got that speed, as you said in the first half, with Jackie Sherrill is true. And you asked him, Jim, how fast can he run? And he said, as fast as he has to. Let's take a look at it again. Marino dropping back. I thought he was going to get a little pressure here because Florida State rushed 5 men. The line, however, is equal to the task. Pass is thrown, and Collins just absolutely outran everybody. Gave him a little shoulder juke inside, waited slightly for the football, but it's an easy touchdown and an 80-yard drive by Pittsburgh.
That is exactly how the game began, with Pittsburgh getting on the scoreboard early. They're going to go for 2, a 39-yard pass for a touchdown to Collins, this time a 36 here in the second half. Martino back, goes in the end zone, and it is good. In the end zone is is Benji Pryor, and it is 23 to 15. And now a game that was 23 to 7, and Bud, you said that really Pittsburgh had not been hurt. They'd hurt themselves. You can see now that they're very much back in the ball game.
They certainly closed the gap in a hurry with that 2-point extra point as we take another look at it here. Rollout pass, and when you're rolling out and somebody stops short, the defense usually does overrun it. The receiver is wide open. I thought he might get out of the end zone, but he was able to come down with both feet in and make the 2 points good.
And there is Sam Platt, the deep man who had some outstanding moments running in the first half.
And I know Bobby Bowden's just shaking his head because the last thing he said to his team in between halves was don't give them anything cheap, and they gave an 80-yard touchdown drive and a long pass for the touchdown. It only took Pittsburgh 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Now Dave Trout out of Scottsdale, Pennsylvania is ready, and he kicks it high, but not that deep, and Platt takes it at the 4. Platt is out near the 20-yard line, where for the first time Rick Stockstill and company come on in the second half. Now Stockstill in the first half had a couple of touchdown passes. One to Hardis Johnson, and the other to Sam Childers. Capice kicked 3 field goals. And now Dan Marino has 2 touchdown passes, both to Dwight Collins. Platt and Whiting at the tailback and fullback. And that is Platt trying to get outside, and does for maybe a yard, and that's about all. Before the secondary came up, led by Pappy Thomas, number 9, and down at the bottom you can get up and see 29, Dan Short, a sophomore out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania.
And they continue to run away from Hugh Green.
That's no bad strategy, is it?
No, it's not. Green usually goes to the split end side where he's got the opportunity to stack as a linebacker, drop off to be in pass defense, or to be an extra man rushing.
Bill Williams wide to the left. Hardis Johnson to the right. Stockstill still with the football, rolling out, going to run with the football, and gets across the 20-yard line. It'll be third down and long from the 23, and there may be a flag, or is that an airplane sailing overhead? There it goes. Not as big a hand as Stockstill, picking up 4 yards. Third down and about 5 to go.
Gives you some idea how good the wind conditions are, though. Absolutely no wind.
Big play, or we'll see Ron Stark in to kick again. Stockstill with the ball, fires the ball high, and it is caught at the 42-yard line. Getting up is Kurt Unglob. Another one of those slow but sure-handed wide receivers of Florida State. Rick Trucano made the stop. First down.
This is excellent execution. A little bit of a running fake to try to freeze the defense momentarily. A little pressure, but the ball is perfectly on target, and it was very well defended. Unglob made a fine catch of a very good throw. Stockstill gets pressured here, as you can see, but like any good quarterback, after the fake, looks downfield, finds his man, concentrating on the throw and not worrying about the rush.
And now Stockstill is hit in the backfield. And guess by whom? Hugh Green. A loss from the 41.5-yard line back inside the 35-yard line, and now they pick it up and march it out to the 37. They'll give him a 4-yard loss, and you'll see Hugh Green right on Rick Stockstill.
A little bit of a rollout. He missed the signal there and ran into Green, who just smothers him all over him. The reason they moved the ball forward was because where the contact is made, that's a forward progress stop.
Second down and 14 to go. 23-15, Florida State, third quarter. Stockstill down again.
And the big rush is effective. In the second quarter, Florida State burned Pittsburgh badly by running the football when the big rush was on, and there was no pursuit when they popped it. But here you can see Hugh Green again. He's coming in along with the other end, Jackson, and there he is Bing, bing from both sides.
Jackson hit him first, as you will see. Here's Jackson, and here comes Mr. Green.
That's called duck for your life.
Third down and 24 to go. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pittsburgh putting on tremendous pressure. They dump it out to Platt. Platt the 35, across the 40, across the 50. Platt's got the first down.
Beautiful execution of the screen pass.
Ricky Jackson made the stop. Now that is a play that Jackie Sherrill anticipated today, the screen, because they do run the sprint out, and the draw so often. And that time they got Hugh Green and company charging, flipped the ball out, and Platt made another outstanding run.
He got a start, but he really did most of it on his own. When you come off long yardage like that, boy, it gives the offense a boost.
First down at the 46 of Pittsburgh, and Stockstill falls down. Platt's lost the football and falls on the back of the 46-yard line. Stockstill tripped and fell.
Oh, I don't know how you can whistle at that when the ball is still bouncing around, but they did.
Look at Dan Short there standing over Platt. Now let's watch Hugh Green.
Stockstill was hit as he tried to toss the ball. You see Green just looking for it now, just shedding his man, going for the ball. The ball is bounced around, and they said that Florida State had possession of the ball prior to the second fumble.
You know that Ken Lanier weighs 270 pounds, and Hugh Green handled him like he weighed 170 pounds.
And we got an unsportsmanlike conduct personal foul against Pittsburgh, which again erases a second down and long situation.
That is Greg Futch checking. Personal foul you saw. And so it is second down and short, second down and 4. The break goes to Florida State.
A lot different than second and 20.
First man through, and that is the fullback, and that is Mike Whiting. And he's inside the 35-yard line.
And we're getting close to field goal range.
And they're moving the sticks again. Another first down, Florida State. Artis Johnson comes in. Florida State has a feeling that nobody figures they are for real. They also have a feeling, even after 11-0 last year, that no one thought they were for real. But if they can take Nebraska one week and Pittsburgh the second, maybe they'll get some notoriety. Here is Platt. Cut back. Gets down to the 30-yard line. 7. Third down and 4 to go. Florida State has moved with the help of an unnecessary roughness penalty. Second and 20 as it was. They wound up with second down and 5. McKinnon, they haven't thrown to him tonight. Goes wide to the left. 26-15, and Capice has now kicked 13 out of 14 field goal attempts this year. The only miss he's had was 51 yards. Renegade. And aren't the Seminoles acting like renegades tonight? Their fans are solidly behind them. Pittsburgh still has a big job ahead. Down by 11, 6:27 to go, third quarter.
And the big play on that drive was the third down. I think they had about 26 or 28 to go when they hit the screen pass to Platt. Looked as though it'd be forced into kicking.
Bill Capice. Out of Miami, Florida. Artrell Hawkins goes deep. Or Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh struck quickly. The problem was they allowed Florida State to come back downfield and pick up 3.
Florida State kept the ball for 6 minutes and 38 seconds on that drive. And this is automatic. I'm afraid that they start on the 20 again after he kicks it into the end zone. We'll see.
Well, not too deep, about 3 yards deep in the end zone, and Hawkins will bring it out. Hawkins turns the still on his feet and now goes down and did not get to the 20-yard line. Dragged down by Gary Henry, number 40, and Bill Capice, the kicker, number 17. And now Dan Marino and company will try to move as smartly and as quickly as they did last time when they scored within the first 2 minutes of the second half.
And once again, it's getting monotonous, Jim, but they started the first time they got the ball on the 44, and we look at the scoring drive here, 13 plays, 63 yards, the big one being the screen pass. It took 6 minutes and 42 seconds for the field goal, but Pittsburgh has started at their 20 or behind the 20 on every possession. This is their 9th possession, except for the first time they had the ball.
Pittsburgh is undefeated. Florida State lost by a point to Miami when they elected to go for 2. That is their only loss. First down, Marino passing. Still all the time in the world, and the ball is batted away by Keith Jones, intended for Woody Collier. Second down.
And this crowd loves it, and they're real support.
We have not gotten any attendance figures, but the word was they expected the largest crowd ever. They just enlarged the stadium a little bit after last season. Collier comes to the left. Dwight Collins has caught 2 touchdown passes. Number 32 goes. You can just see his feet at the top of the screen. Second down, 10. Marino still with amazing protection. Flag is down, and McMillan is still on his feet, but remember, the flag is down at the 16-yard line. McMillan gets out to the 29, which should be good enough for the first down.
I think that Dombrowski did not get set quite quickly enough. He changed from the bottom of your screen to the top of the screen and was not still for the required second. He was just to the right of your screen. You can't quite see him, but he wasn't quite still, and we get the procedure penalty. Very good play here by McMillan as he sheds the first tackler, turns it upfield. He made the first down, but it all goes back.
Well, he got rid of Rob Herring, who's a pretty fine linebacker. He shed Henry. Lonnie Futz knocked him out of bounds. Marino's stats are pretty good, but Pittsburgh is down by 11 points. Look at the time he's got. Oh, it's intercepted by Herring. And 10 for McMillan. And Rob Herring, oh, does he want that back? That would have been touchdown for sure and might have sealed the result of this game.
Linebackers always have a little bit of tape on their hands, and that makes it a little tougher to catch the ball. I don't think Herring expected the ball out there. You can see the tape on his hands. When you're wearing that much, it does help you shed blocks, but it doesn't help you catch the ball.
Third down, 15 from the 13-yard line. Dombrowski and Collier both come to the left. Collins goes to the right. One setback. Marino forced him to throwing again. Still with no pressure. Goes it for Collier. And I believe Collier made the catch at the 41-yard line. First down.
I can't believe he made the catch, Jim. He was covered by 3 men, but the ball was perfectly on target.
Now they're saying, no, the ball is incomplete. And Collier is incapacitated for the moment. The officials came out, and let's watch it again, Bud. The officials came out with a delayed call of incomplete.
Always bothers me when it's that delayed, but let's take a look at it. Perfect throw. Couldn't see the ball from that angle, but we'll take a look at it from this angle and see if we can see what happened. Marino makes a perfect throw here. Collier running a crossing pattern. 3 men closing on him. The ball appears to be on target. He appears to have it for a moment. He goes down, and one official ruled complete. Another official came in late, said nope. He trapped the ball, and the late call is the call that prevails.
Henry's the man deep at the 48-yard line. Barring a fumble, Florida State should have excellent field position again. Line drive, chance for Henry to bring it back. Trying to get wide for the wall on this side to the 40. Cuts inside and knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. First and 10, Florida State. Gary Henry, the junior out of Orlando. And Rick Stockstill again has outstanding field position, and that is something you could not say for most of the first half.
As we watch Hepler punt the ball here, the kick is low. It only goes 34 yards. Florida State does a good job of setting up the blocking wall along the line of scrimmage. Catch is made, and you can see from the right-hand side of the screen that there are no white jerseys coming there. Catch is made. No pressure. A lot of time to get started.
Well, I tell you, things don't usually happen that slowly, and we didn't mean for it to happen that slowly, but you can see what happened to Gary Henry as he caught the ball on a line drive, as Bud described, and he got down to the 33-yard line where time has been called. 5:43 to go. Third quarter, 26-15, Florida State.
And once again, the kicking game of Pittsburgh has cost them tremendous yardage. That was a net gain of 20 yards on the punt after the 16-yard return.
Well, the Pittsburgh Panthers, talking to, well, both coaches, as Bud and I did, you got the feeling that Bobby Bowden was hopeful that his young men could do it, fighting with Hugh Green, whereas Jackie Sherrill figured that he wishes he had his defensive secondary back, but thought that he could handle the team because of his fine defense. Stockstill is actually tackled as Whiting has the football and gets inside the 20 or the 30-yard line down to the 27.
And once again, Florida State, barring some accidents, within field goal range without having to make a first down.
Artis Johnson comes in, and that's the score, and we do not have it wrong. That is the correct score. Undefeated Pittsburgh in the top 5 in the country. Down by 11 points. Williams in motion left. Pitch back, and this is Platt again. This time dragged down from behind. Platt does not get a good jump, and that is Greg Meisner, number 86, that made the stop. One of that fine front 5 that they have at Pittsburgh. But any time that you have a man like Sam Platt gaining more than 100 yards, when they have been doing such things, the Steelers have, as holding Maryland to 22 yards on 43 carries, you know that your defense has been tested, even though your offense has given up the ball on some fumbles. Knoxville and Whiting could not turn around quick enough. Knoxville had to have that play develop in such a hurry because he was being harassed.
They had the screen call. The blitz was on. Normally, he should have time to get rid of it, but it came so fast that he didn't even have time to get set. You can see the Pittsburgh rush. They're only coming with 4 men, but Jackson does a great job of getting past his man. Stockstill sees him coming, throws the ball, overthrows, no chance.
Now, but I thought I said that we're going to have Mississippi State at Miami, and Miami's the only team to beat Florida State. Maybe I said Florida State down there. I got the Seminoles on my mind for the moment, but our game, of course, is Mississippi State at Miami, and Capice does it again from more than 40 yards out. Bill Capice has now kicked 5 field goals. He had 4 against Nebraska. And it is 29-15, and again, a 2-touchdown margin.
Marvelous field position execution by Florida State. Their punting game, together with their field goals, is remarkable.
You realize one thing, we have not seen Ron Stark have to punt the ball in this half. Not for a long while as he come out there with one of his boomers.
They drove from their own 18-yard line to Capice's first field goal of the half, and then they got the ball on the Pittsburgh 33, did not make the first down, but the punt return, the net punt of 20 yards, set them up within field goal range.
4 minutes, 24 seconds to go in the third quarter. Pittsburgh shell-shocked by the kicking game, by the fact they've dropped the ball, and by kicking such as that as Artrell Hawkins not bringing it out, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Capice does his job again.
It's a repetitious thing, but I'd like to tell you where Pittsburgh has had the ball on the exchange. The first time they had it on Florida State's 44-yard line, then their own 12, their own 18, their own 20, their own 11, their own 6, their own 20, their own 20, their own 20, the 18, and the 20. So they've been a long way from the goal line.
That is what is called as having lousy field position. Starting on their own 20 here, Marino now forced to get the ball away, and does, and the ball is caught across the 30-yard line. And I believe that was Benji Pryor, the tight end, who takes it to the 34-yard line. tackle is made by James Harris, number 33 of Florida State. The Panthers, when they strike, can be lightning quick. Their long touchdown passes have been of 39 and 36 yards to Dwight Collins. They've gone for the 2 extra points, and that's the only points they've got. And this is their fullback, McMillan, carrying the ball near the 40-yard line. A pick up a 4 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 to go. Hester's down the bottom there. He's getting up along with Motzik, number 67.
Pittsburgh stays with their pattern of draw, screen, throw downfield.
3.5 minutes to go. In comes Wayne DiBartolo. Or McMillan at fullback. He carries the number 31. The first time we've seen him. He is the up man. 2nd down and 5 from the 40. And there it is. Dumped inside to number 88, Jeff Casper, who's down to the 40-yard line. And that is another first down for Pittsburgh. They moved from the 20. And now they're on the 40. Make it the 41 of Florida State.
He had that one right on target. Just a little seam pass breaking between the corner man and the inside safety.
McMillan comes back in. And now Casper, who ran off the field, well, on the front is Casper. I think he got a New Jersey. He's back in, and Dwight Collins goes out wide to the right. And there is the second man through. That is McCall. McCall has a first down across the 30-yard line down to the 26-yard line, where Bonasorte made the stop along with Ron Simmons.
He's trying to tell him, protect for the draw, but be sure you rush the passer. That's tough to do.
Joe McCall had just carried that football, is out of Miami, Florida, playing for Pittsburgh. He's wide to the right now, as Julius Dawkins has come in and has split to the left. And Marino says, I can't hear. He turns around to the referee, Paul Smith.
A little unfair of the crowd to boo when the referee makes the proper decision. If the offensive team can't hear the start count, snap count, he should take time out, try to get the crowd a little quiet.
Mike Dombrowski has come back in, and McCall goes out. Now that is, you heard me right, that is a tight end for a halfback. But they're splitting him out wide and using him as receivers. 2:22 left third quarter. 29-15 Florida State. Dawkins is to the left and Dombrowski to the right, and Marino's back to throw. Has a lot of time and underthrows his man, and that is Julius Dawkins at the 10-yard line.
Dawkins was going to be open if he'd gotten the ball to him.
2nd down and 10. Try goes up for defense. This is the only night ball game played by Pittsburgh this year, and it's only the 2nd time they've been away this year, and it's the 1st time they're on artificial turf this year. I should say on real turf instead of artificial turf. Marino rolling out, has his man under the coverage at the 19-yard line, and that is number 84, Benji Pryor, who has made another catch on this drive. They'll bring them down to a first down inside the 15. They'll mark it at the 14. First down Pittsburgh. They're down by 14 points. Score here, they're just a touchdown apart with more than a quarter to go.
The offensive line continues to do just a marvelous job of protecting Marino.
Collins to the right, Dawkins to the left, and Pittsburgh driving. Drive started on their own 20-yard line. Dawkins hands to McMillan, who picks up 2 yards only. That's about all. You can see Herring in there. Hester in there. Now it is 2nd down. They'll mark it at the 12-yard line. Jackie Sherrill and his Pittsburgh Panthers. They're close to getting back into the ball game should they score here.
They need to put it in the end zone. 3 points is not enough.
Not when you got a Capiz that can get the 3 points back almost at will. Dawkins left and Collins right. Marino, lots of time, fires the football, and Dawkins can't hold on to it at the 4-yard line. Flag is down, and it may be 1st and goal to go.
that's what the call will be. Sometimes, though, you get a little shaken because it could be offensive interference as well as defensive. Both teams have equal right to the ball when it's in the air. Look at that line, pass protection. Couldn't quite see it. Someone must have put a hand on him because it is called as defensive interference.
That's going to be first and goal to go. Let's see if it's Henry, number 40, or someone else, if we can tell. Well, I can't tell.
I couldn't see it either, Jim.
There's Henry on the ground. We will not give Gary the fault on the play because we're not sure. All right, first and goal to go. McCall is back in. And they've got a full house backfield. Now McCall is in motion. Second man through and going nowhere is McMillan. As Florida State shows, it's got a defensive line also. There is Gary Futch down at the bottom. Bonassart, the strong safety, came up.
I couldn't tell whether they got a little mixed up in the backfield or whether they wanted the tailback to go in motion. It clicked almost as though Marino told him as an afterthought, hey, you're not supposed to be in here. Move out as a flanker.
52,894 looking on here. They're looking on live on television in this area. And you're watching it on ESPN. 25 seconds to go, third quarter. McCall and touchdown. An 80-yard drive helped by the interference call. And McCall taking it in from the 2. And now it is quite a ball game, isn't it?
He's going to try to kick this one. Then they're only 7 points behind. Should they score again, he could go for 2 if they want to try to win the ball game. That was an 80-yard drive in 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Trout is in, and obviously, Bud, they're going to go for, barring a trick play, a single point to make it 29-22 and start the fourth quarter. There's 16 seconds left in the third with just a touchdown difference. It was 23-7 at the half, and now it is 29-22, Florida State. And that, as you can tell, is a bad graphic. It is not 29-18, but 29-22. And now Florida State and Stockstill not only have to hang on to the football, they've got to get some points. There's the score, because there's more than 15 minutes to go, and Pittsburgh has shown that they're not panicky, that they can move the football, and quickly.
They've got to do is not let Florida State cross midfield. The minute they do, Capiz is right there, and you're looking at 3 points.
Dennis McKinnon is a deep man as you take a look at the score, and 16 seconds left right in the center of your picture there in the third quarter as Trout will kick off. That is McKinnon in the end zone. Harris nearest to you. This youngster also from Miami can fly. To kick off, the Panthers acting like a team that does not want to give up its chances for a national championship easily. McKinnon way in the end zone. And now Florida State will take the ball out to the 20-yard line. First and 10 from there. Now, Bud, at one time, as we said, it was 23-7. That was at the end of the half, and you made the point that Pittsburgh had hurt itself an awful lot with those 3 fumbles, plus the great kicking game of Florida State. But now here are the Panthers, and I see Joe Green and company holding hands out there on defense, saying, fellas, let's stop them, get the ball back, and we are in this game to stay.
They got to play this series of downs just like the Florida State has the ball on the Pittsburgh 10-yard line.
Here's Stockstill rolling out, getting the ball away, and Williams can't get to it. At the 46-yard line, Bill Williams could not get to it. Pappy Thomas was covering him, but he was well off Williams. Had the ball been accurately thrown, it would have been a first down across the 45.
A very long throw when you're throwing it on the run, and when you have Hugh Green breathing down your throat.
Artis Johnson comes in with the play, number 22. It is second down 10. Clock stopped at 9 seconds to go. Stockstill, he's got time. He fires the football. He's got his man across the 30. First down. That is Williams. Tackled by Pappy Thomas. First down, Florida State. They needed it. That is the end of the third quarter. Not want a better football game between better teams than what you're watching Florida State and Pittsburgh. At the moment, there's a 7-point difference. It is 29-22 Florida State.
This is
32-yard line. 29-22. That is Whiting, the fullback, back to the line of scrimmage. The scoreboard, Bud said, last week number 3 Nebraska, this week number 3 Pittsburgh. No one said it would be easy, and this one will not be easy tonight.
Interesting third quarter. Neither team punted. Florida State drove from their own 18-yard line to Capice's first field goal. Then they had a punt return and started on the Pitt 33 for the second field goal. Pittsburgh put together 2 great 80-yard touchdown drives.
Artis Johnson wide right, Bill Williams to the left. Second down and nearly 10 to go, and that is Platt cutting back. Platt picks up about 7 yards out to the 37-yard line, where Ricky Jackson, number 87, peeled back to make the stop. Third down and short.
This is the late delayed draw to the tailback. They've been faking this, faking it, and then throwing. This time they gave it to Platt. He found a little daylight, picked up pretty good yardage, and sets up what is a key down for Pittsburgh.
All right, Unglob is wide to the right. About 3.5 yards to go. McKinnon in motion. Here they go over the middle. And the ball is pumped in the hands of Artis Johnson. And making the hit was Steve Fidel.
Little crossing pattern. Reasonably good pass protection here. Stockstill back, throws it over the middle. Both men driving hard for the ball. Looked as though for a moment it might be almost an interception. He's unable to get in front of the football to make it. Hard collision, good call.
Artis Johnson only outweighed by 50 pounds of the man with whom he collided. Now here's Ron Stark in. Over comes Flynn. He's back at the 9-yard line and in a lot of trouble. Harris, the reserve fullback, Larry Harris, a freshman out of Gainesville, made the stop at the 16-yard line.
It's a remarkable thing, the way he kicks that football. A 47-yard net punt.
And you know, he has been averaging, before tonight, about 46.8, which is nearly 47. The point being that that's about average for him, 47 yards.
Well, he kicked at 53, but we had the 6-yard return. And net yardage is what you're looking for, and we're getting a penalty call again.
Against the Panthers, and that'll be half the distance to the goal line, as the ball now is on the 17-yard line. And the Panthers of Pittsburgh, with nearly the whole quarter to go, are down by only 7 points. If they are to move this football, must do it from within the shadow of their own goal line.
6-yard return, and net yardage is what you're looking for, and we're getting a penalty call again.
Against the Panthers, and that'll be half the distance to the goal line, as the ball now is on the 17-yard line. And the Panthers of Pittsburgh, with nearly the whole quarter to go, and down by only 7 points. If they are to move this football, must do it from within the shadow of their own goal line.
They've had to move it the whole distance of the field, except for the football.
Takes it down to the 8-yard line, so they got 92 yards to go. The last time they moved 80 yards before Hall took it in from the 2. 13:33 to go. 29-22 Florida State. Dombrowski wide to the left. Collier, who was hurt a little while ago, is inside him, and Dwight Collins comes out to the right, and now they say time has been called.
It's football season again.
What can you say? The Panthers did everything wrong after the first 5 minutes of the first half. The kicking game and the Panthers' own drop football gave the Florida State Seminoles a 23-7 lead at the half. But now I look at the scoreboard and it's 29-22, and somebody may be bowing in the direction of Bill Capice with 4 straight field goals and 5 altogether.
Well, his 5 field goals break the record here. They'll break the record at a lot of schools. However, Florida State continues to do a great job offensively offensive ball possession. They had the ball 7 minutes and 55 seconds in the third quarter, even though they made only 6 points. Pittsburgh had it 7:05 and scored 2 touchdowns.
All right, Dombrowski is wide left. Collier inside him, and White Collins over here on the inside. Marino with outstanding protection goes it out to Benji Pryor, his tight end, who gets out to the 15-yard line, maybe the 16, and down he goes there. Tackled there by James Gilbert and Monk Bonasort. Bonasort is out of Pittsburgh. I think you've heard the story. He played a lot of football with and against some of these men across the line of scrimmage from him, the Pittsburgh Panthers, but found his way down here to Florida State. Marino is 14 of 24, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. McMillan carries the football, and McMillan is on his feet past the 30-yard line, and the Panthers, who started on the 8, now find themselves out near the 35-yard line with better field position, down by only a touchdown and a lot of time to go. About 13 minutes.
Their offense has moved the ball beautifully throughout the entire game. It's been Stark's kicking and their own turnovers that have kept Florida State in the lead.
Now Collier and Collins both go wide left. Joe McCall is in, a touchdown maker of not too long ago, number 34, and the ball is lost, and it belongs to Ron Hester. The freshman Joe McCall dropped the football. There's another one of those fumbles, and the ball's at the 28-yard line.
You're not supposed to fumble on a handoff if you're hit. Well, then, yes, you can always say that, well, they knocked us loose from the football. This is one that just is mechanical ball handling in the backfield. Marino turns back, a little bit of a misdirection, and the ball is simply bobbled, dropped. Florida State again recovers with fine field position.
And Hester reaches out and gathers it in. And now second man through is Platt, and wow, he runs into a stone wall and maybe got about a yard, and that is all.
The thing that just kills you, Jim, is when you give him a turnover inside the 35-yard line. It's like giving him 3 points.
Hugh Green and Steve Fidel made the stop. That's a gain of 2. It is second down and 8. The ball is at the 26-yard line. And Capice is standing on the sidelines while his holder is practicing taking the ball. And there goes Whiting, and he is close to a first down. Mike Whiting. Down to the 18-yard line, and if he's gotten past the 18, and I believe he has, that's got to be another first down. Florida State it is.
Good call by Florida State. And excellent blocking. Good daylight, solid tackle, but the necessary yardage for the first down.
Williams goes wide to the right. Unglov is on the left. High formation, Stock still in charge. First man through is Whiting, the fullback, and he's not going too far, is he? You can see Boyarsky, 68, getting up, the initial man with him, along with Meisner, number 86. Call it no gain, second down 10.
Coaches get redundant talking about how turnovers beat you and field position beats you. Florida State has had no turnovers. Pittsburgh has had 5.
Mike Whiting has carried for 47 yards, and Sam Platt, the tailback, well over 100 yards against this outstanding Pittsburgh defense. Second down and 10 to go. And there goes Whiting inside the 15-yard line. It'll be third down and a long 5, perhaps 6 yards after they spot the ball.
And Pittsburgh continues to blitz, which takes away from their pursuit, but it also scares Florida State if they do decide they want to throw the football.
Unglog comes in. He's got the answer. Capice along the sidelines, ready to come in. He's practicing kicking. He's almost right in front of Bobby Bowden that you saw right there. Capice is walking down. He's at the 35 now, saying, hey, fellas, if it doesn't go in, I'm going in. Stockstill puts it up in the end zone. Unglog, touchdown! Absolutely ran right around the defensive back and made the catch. Lynn Thomas is the man he beat. 13-yard field goal, but remember the fumble on the 28 set it up. 13-yard TD. This comes roaring back. No matter what Pittsburgh does, this ball game is still in the half. 10:24 to go. Capice still has not missed a point after all year long. And the score now is 36-22 with 10 minutes and 24 seconds to go on a 13-yard pass to Onglaw. After recovery, the fumble by McCall at the 28-yard line by Foster. Here's Capice. There's Hawkins inside the end zone, bringing it out, and just does get to the 19 or 20-yard line. Results are the same. Dan Marino and company have a long way to go.
And you've got to be patient. When you've got 10 minutes and 17 seconds, you don't want to try to force it.
They sit on the scoreboard this time, Bill Capice and Ron Stark, Super Toe and Thunderfoot, known as the Dynamic Duo. Well, they have been dynamic tonight and apparently all year long. This is the first time Bud and I've seen them, but here comes Pittsburgh. Collier goes wide left. Collins comes to the right. Marino with that excellent protection. There's the first time they got to him. He got rid of it, and the ball is dropped. Dropped by Dombrowski at the 28-yard line. Simmons was the man coming the nose guard, and that's about as close as you'll see them come all night. I think Simmons got by Amo Boris, a right guard, who slowly picked himself up.
Dombrowski jumped too soon for the ball. Had he kept his stride and gone up at the right time, I believe he could have made the catch. Fine move, though, by Marino.
Second down 10. This time Collins comes with Benji Pryor wide to the right. They've got two receivers split on the left. Marino back, throws it to the outlet man, and that is McMillan, the fullback, and he is hit inside the 20-yard line. Actually lost a yard on the play. Reggie Herring, number 39, the first man to hit him, along with Bobby Butler, number 21.
Excellent pass defense downfield by Florida State. Marino had plenty of time. There was no one open. He had to dump the ball off and completed the pass, but no yardage.
Ball is back at the 18-yard line. It is third down and 12 to go. 9:35 left. The clock now becomes very important. Big play here for Pittsburgh to keep it rolling and keep the ball in their possession to try to fight back. Marino has to throw it quickly. Collins is there. And it's knocked down. Collins was double, maybe triple teamed. But I think Gary Henry, number 40, is the man who got his hands on the ball first. And it's fourth down, and Hepler will have to kick it away.
Great defensive series by Florida State, as you can tell by listening to the crowd reaction. Pittsburgh has moved the ball almost at ease in the third quarter. But the Florida State defense adjusted very well, shut them down totally that time.
Hepler standing inside his own 5-yard line. Gary Henry, who was in on that last defensive play, back at the 46-yard line of Florida State. Long count. They've got 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Another line drive. It'll allow Henry to bring the ball back a little bit, try to get outside where Wall is on the far side. He does get outside, down the sidelines, inside the 40-yard line. And excellent field position for Florida State. First down, Florida State. And would it be something in northern Florida to take both Nebraska and Pittsburgh back-to-back?
39-yard punt here, as you can see on the replay. Low line drive. Returned by Henry. He sets it up well, gets to the sidelines, finds the wall of blockers, picks up 19 yards on the return. So once again, Pittsburgh has made only 20 net yards on the punt.
And once again, excellent field position for Florida State from a 38-yard line of Pittsburgh. Knoxville, the fake, the handoff, and Whiting takes it for perhaps a yard, and that is all. Mike Whiting, the fullback out of Largo. Well, you can see Hugh Green up top wrestling him down, but Green came up after the slow. Mark Reichard slowed him to a walk. It's second down and 10. 8:38 left. Florida State by 2 touchdowns. There's Platt. He's been having an outstanding night, but not there. He slips after picking up a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go near the 35-yard line of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
And that's the first time I've seen the grass tear up when the back tried to make a cut. This is an excellent grass field.
Matter of fact, Bud, you made that statement before the game as you walked across it. This is one of the better grass fields you've seen anywhere.
If they were all like this, you'd recommend playing on grass, particularly if there's no rain.
Kurt Unglaub, who caught a touchdown pass just moments ago, has come in with the play and has split wide to the right. And Stockstill on 3rd down and about 8 to go. Has a lot of time on a sprint out. But he's going to sprint with himself inside the 30-yard line. Shy of the first down. Shy of the first down. Where they mark it at the 29-yard line. It's got to get to the 28. But it is so close. They have demanded that they take a look at the sticks. But I think he's about a yard or a half a yard shy. He really has to get to the 28.
He made an awfully good read, though, before he decided to run for it, and he made a very aggressive move.
It's about a yard to go, and now let's see what they do. Capice is coming out. He would like to...
Were you in doubt about what they did, Jim?
Put this out of reach if he can. Now Capice tonight is 5 for 5 in field goals, and for the year 14 of 15 in field goals. The only one he's missed has been from 51 yards out. This will be from 46 yards out. 7:44 to go, and would be his 6th field goal if he makes it. Time is called. They're getting the stick set on the far sideline. Now Paul Schmidt, the referee, says we're ready. From the 46-yard line, this may not make it, and it does not.
I'm shocked.
36 to 22. The score remains. Florida State ran some important time off that clock. As we told you that Capice has got the record, but he wanted to increase that record. Before tonight, it was 4 field goals against South Carolina 10 years ago in one game. Capice, well, way back in the 3rd quarter, made it 5, and then tried to make it 6. Ball is on the 36-yard line. Collins again, along with Collier, wide left. It is 2nd down and only 3 to go. And they're running the football, trying to get something going to set up the passing game. And Artrell Hawkins isn't going anywhere, as Ron Hester and James Gilbert, numbers 83 and 51, put him down. And now it is 3rd down and about 3 to go. The ball at the 36.
Excuse me, Jim. He didn't make a very good read that time. It was open to the outside. He tried to cut it back inside. I think he could have picked up the 1st down had he taken it to the sidelines.
I think it is obvious to say right here that Dan Marino and his troops need a 1st down. Less than 7 minutes to go and down by 14 points. They got to keep the football. And that may do it. The ball is juggled over there and caught. It went over the hands of Collier and Billy Collier had the football. It flew out of his hands as he was hit to Monk Bonasort, a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
We'll go back to Pittsburgh and talk about that one.
He said, if I win tonight, meaning we win tonight, I can go back to Pittsburgh. If not, they'll be waiting for me.
6th turnover by the Panthers.
That ball not Marino's fault. He got it into the hands of Collier, who fumbled it away. Now let us see how they're going to stick to the ground, giving it to Platt. Platt runs into a stack of people, including one of his own blockers, as he gets to the 43-yard line. A gain of a couple. Let's call it 2nd down and 7. More importantly, the clock continues to run. 36-22, Florida State. And you can see it running with now less than 6.5 minutes.
And if you keep the ball on the ground, the clock obviously keeps running. If you throw it and it's incomplete, you kill the clock. With a 14-point lead, I'll be shocked if Florida State puts it in the air.
Sam Platt with more than 100 yards tonight, adding some more, still on his feet and close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short as Platt gets inside the 40-yard line. Turcano is in on the tackle, along with number 29, Dan short. And now Unglob comes onto the field. Johnson comes out. Unglob brings on the play. The wide receivers alternate with plays. On the other side of the line of scrimmage, Marino calls about 60% of his own plays at the line of scrimmage. 36-22, 5.5 minutes to go. Stockstill still with the football, running with the football. He's got mobility, and he's dragged down. And guess who did it?
Boy, from all the way across the field.
Hugh Green, number 99. And they get some affectionate pats from a Florida State staff that figures that they've done a pretty good job on Mr. Green tonight. He's been outstanding, but they've been able to keep him out of too many big plays, with a notable exception of the first play from scrimmage when he hit Stockstill for a loss all the way back to the 1-yard line. And that's back in the first moments of the game.
That was a very big play there, because if Florida State picks up the first down, they could kill enough time on the clock to cinch the victory.
Well, let's see if Stark can kick the ball out inside the 20. I mean,
He's done everything else.
He can kick it everywhere, but let's see if he can kick it out. No, he just kicks it straight away, and it went off the side of his foot, however, I do believe. I don't think he angled it that far. Maybe I'm wrong, but he did a good job. It's out on the 12, and they'll take it.
I think you're absolutely right. He shanked it a little bit, but when things are going well, they go well.
Here's a fella that's an outstanding kicker, but for the first time, he didn't have to get a lot of foot into it.
23-yard kick, but at that point in time, getting it inside the 20-yard line, he saved 8 yards.
4:44 left. And if it goes by with the scores it is now, 36-22, Florida State will have upset Nebraska at Nebraska, and Pittsburgh here, both teams undefeated before they met them.
And you better respect the Seminoles.
Marino gets the ball away on the far side of the field. The man is triple teamed. That is Dombrowski, I believe, number 82, and that is. 4:36 to go. And there's a flag on the play, and it may be holding. As Pittsburgh walks back, Dombrowski is dumbfounded. No signal yet from the officials, but it is obvious it is against the Panthers. Putting them back inside the 5. Holding is the charge. They did not get to Marino, but the officials detected that one of the reasons why is they were holding. Bill Capice, 5 field goals tonight. Rick Stockstill, touchdown passes tonight. There is Collins, who can outrun everybody, and he is close to a first down across the 20-yard line. Bobby Butler, number 21, made the tackle.
Florida State's playing very conservatively defensively. 2 safety men back about 20 yards. The linebackers back. Just don't let them make any type of breakaway play, and the clock is going to protect us.
4 minutes, 9 seconds left. The fans, if anybody's gone for the exits, I have not seen them, because they figure they're sitting in on something that they only heard about last week, and that was the win over Nebraska.
Marino's asking for a dry football, and we're getting a little discussion, the referee, and he said, maybe you should have told me a little bit sooner about it, but okay, we'll give you a dry ball, but we'll wind the clock. You got 25 seconds to get it in play.
Well, someone said, I think it's Charlie Dressler, football statistics are for losers. Marino's got 272 yards, but he changed it right now for a touchdown. They need points. Now here is Benji Pryor up to this side, and there he goes back. Ron Hester, number 83, who was forced into action tonight because Borowski had the appendectomy, has played an outstanding game, including recovering the fumble moments ago that set up yet another score.
You really have got to give great credit to the Florida State defense also. Pittsburgh is very capable of moving the football as Pittsburgh takes a timeout, but Florida State has made them work for everything that they've done, and they have forced the turnovers.
52,894 paid their way in here tonight. A lot of people watching in the Tallahassee area, live on television, and millions more here on ESPN. And 2 to go. The ball on the 20-yard line of Pittsburgh. 3:24 left. Dan Marino has not lost too many times in his short career with Pittsburgh. He's only a sophomore. And this is a good Pittsburgh team. Marino still protected, and the ball is not held. Coming out of the backfield was McMillan, turning upfield. He might have had the first down, but fumbled the football.
He was looking for someplace to run and not concentrating on the catch.
And out is fourth down, and Marino is staying out on the field.
Got to go for it.
They've got to with 3:24 left. And if they do not get it, you would think at worst Bill Capice would have field goal number 6 tonight, unless they just choose to hang on and fall on the football.
Also think Florida State's got the game won.
Collins comes wide right. Collier goes to the left. The crowd gets up on fourth down. Standing room, watching the ball be tipped. And it is caught by Dombrowski. And that'll be the first down out across the 35-yard line. And that was a clutch catch to keep Pittsburgh's hopes alive.
You wonder how he could make this catch. They've dropped a few easy balls, and then this is a sensational catch. Ball is batted. Batted balls are usually intercepted. Dombrowski goes high in the air to make the catch.
Heath Jones wrestled him down. Here's Marino again, and there's Collier. And that is incomplete at the 46-yard line of Florida State. It is second down with 3:18 left. And now I can see the first vestiges of people who figure our team has won it and are starting to leave Doak Campbell Stadium.
I don't think they should be that positive. If Pittsburgh gets one on the board, gets an onside kick, this thing's not over.
Panthers can strike very quickly. But a few folks say, it'll never happen. Don't be so sure. Don't you be so sure. Stick with us. This Marino can throw the football. And he gets all the time, gets the ball away, got it for Collins, and across the way, Bobby Butler makes the interception, and Marino is standing down inside his own 5-yard line, hands on his hips, walking off, very disconsolate. There he is, now at the 10. He realizes that's all she wrote.
7 turnovers by the Panthers.
And that is a classic way to lose a football game. 7 turnovers.
Plus, don't ever get the ball outside of your own 20-yard line on the exchange except once.
Rick Stockstill, you can't say enough about him. He was down 7-0 and then brought him back, hitting Hartis Johnson and then Childers. The end around to McKinnon. McKinnon's across the 40-yard line. Dennis McKinnon, the wide receiver around, and Florida State hasn't gone conservative at all. They didn't put it in the air, but they're trying to keep the football and move it, and they got a first down.
Jackson is very upset with himself, having missed the tackle. That kind of a play runs a lot of seconds, even though you don't make anything. You run it all the way across the field one way, you reverse it, bring it back all the way across the field the other way, but Jackson overruns it, and they pick up a first down on the play as well as run the time off the clock.
On the 41-yard line, first down, Florida State. And this is Whiting as a flag goes down, and it might be that Pittsburgh was charging offside on that play. If so, that's nifty for Florida State because it would give them 1st and 5, and it would be tragic for Pittsburgh because they will have given them 5 easy yards.
I think Bill Neal beat the count.
Schmidt has had his hands full tonight, marking off 5 yards here.
We talked about the kicking game and the field goal kicking, field position, but the Florida State offense has also done a great job. Pittsburgh in the 4th quarter had the ball only 4 minutes and 31 seconds. As you see, Meisner jump offside.
1st and 5. Stockstill coming back to the huddle now. He went to the sideline during the pacing off of the penalty. 2.5 minutes to go. Well, I guess the Cinderella story in this land of at least near to Disney World has come true. Cross State at Orlando, Florida State Seminoles. Marino has almost doubled that, but his team is down by 14 points. And the handoff to the second man through is still on his feet, and that is, let's make it the first man through, Mike Whiting. Down to 2:10 and counting. It'll be second down and 5 to go as Whiting picks up no yardage at all. Jay Pelusi is in as a middle guard, and he made the stop. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Happy crowd. Unbelievably happy crowd.
Well, they had 5,000 cars full of people waiting for them when he got back from Nebraska last week. You couldn't move. I don't know what will happen tonight. I guess everybody don't have to wait for them because they're right here in their own hometown. And there goes Platt, first down. And Platt has had a remarkable night against a team that is second in the nation rushing defense, allowing only 31 yards per game before tonight. And Platt himself is well over 100.
They're taking advantage of the way Pittsburgh has played their defense, and I don't mean that critically of how Pittsburgh has played their defense. Florida State has not run the ball well. They felt that they had to rush Stockstill, and by rushing, you penetrate, you lose the pursuit.
1 minute, 15 seconds to go. Here goes McKinnon again, around the other way. And McKinnon gets down to the 40-yard line. That will be second down and 2 to go. Clock runs, and folks, we are now under 1 minute.
The sweep action here as Stockstill pitches the ball back, and there comes the reverse. Again, the play uses up all kinds of time, and this young man can carry the football. Two Pittsburgh men, he splits them, almost picks up the first down.
On the sidelines, Bill Capice has got the whole team saying we're number one, and there's the blitz, and I think they're offside. But Platt's got the football. Flags are down. Time is running out.
I've been waiting for him to run the fake reverse, which they did that time. And Platt faked it, kept it.
Across the way, they're looking at a Florida State man who went down. That was a vicious bit of play across there. And I don't mean that it was untoward. I just simply mean it was a hard hit. And a man is down with 25 seconds to go. 36-22, Florida State. They've done it. Number 3, Nebraska last week. Number 3, Pittsburgh this week. And as I said, Bill Capice and company have been raising the finger number 1. I don't think they'll get there despite the fact that Alabama had a squeaker today. Bobby Bowden done an outstanding job since coming down here from West Virginia. And we still cannot see who that man is across the way. And he is up, and we now know it is Emil Ryan, the guard, and apparently just took a real hit, Eric Ryan. And that kind of night. Third down and a couple of yards to go. The clock is running, 23. They don't even have to run a play if they don't want to. 20. 15. Great victory for Florida State. A shocker for Pittsburgh, undefeated at third ranked in one of the polls. There's Ricky Williams, and that's going to be all. 6, he'll count it down. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen one of the big upsets. Pittsburgh, undefeated, slightly favored, and turn it around. Florida State winning 36-22 has now in successive weeks defeated Nebraska at Lincoln, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers' first loss, and tonight the Panthers of Pittsburgh here in Tallahassee. Final score, Florida State 36, with Capice kicking 5 field goals, Pittsburgh with all those turnovers 22.